You are now in the arena. Welcome to Gridiron, presented by Underdog. Woo, woo. The energy is high today. We've been all laughing, having fun, because it's Super Bowl week, you guys. So we're going to have a fun-filled week. My name is Kinsey. I am your host. And joining me today, we have one of the most prolific figures in the history of sports media and the man who's never lost a debate, Skip Bayless.
Go Skip.
Super Bowl champion, 5-time Pro Bowler, and 2-time All-Pro cornerback, Aqib Talib. Yeah. 3-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl winning safety, TJ Ward. Yes, and the king of quarterback breakdowns, top 5 passer in USC Trojan history, Cody Kessler.
Yes, so, right after this show, we are heading up to San Francisco for the Super Bowl.
Yes, we are.
I want to inform Aqib that he will, starting tonight, have a midnight curfew. Will not be violated at the cost of your job.
Hey, I was a master at sneaking out them hotels.
I know.
My day,
yeah.
I was a master at it, man.
Well, you still got a lot of player left in you, so here we go.
I know. Keeping Aqib locked in, I don't know about that, Skip.
I would be chilling out there, though, man. I'm old now. I'll be just chilling, you know?
Oh, yeah, right.
Hanging out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Either way, we're all going to have so much fun and have a packed week. But here's what we've got happening today on Gridiron, okay? Because the coaching carousel continues to spin round and round as Vegas and Arizona find their men in charge, and one of them is still coaching. Super Bowl week is officially here, and our Super Bowl champs are going to break down exactly what it's like taking on a big Super Bowl week. And Jefferson made some comments about his old quarterback, so we're going to dive into that and so much more. But of course, you guys, this episode is presented by Underdog. The big game is finally here, and if you want to get on the action, you already know I'm using Underdog. It's super simple. You just pick higher or lower on 2 or more player stats like touchdowns, receptions, and more. You can win up to 5,000 times your entry, and it's not just football. They've also got options for the big game. Underdog's hooking it up with Big Reveal. Just choose your player and see if you get a gimme pick. Underdog's available in most states, including Texas, California, and Florida. New customers get $75 in bonus entries when you play just $5 to get started. Use code GRID and sign up. As always, you guys support the show, make picks, win money, use code GRID. Now let's jump into the show, you guys. We got so much to talk about, including a lot of coaching things. Finally, we're going to wrap up that, but it's Super Bowl week, and everyone who's ever played in the Super Bowl will tell you how different preparing for the game is. So the longer the wait, the obligations, the media every single day, and more. And we have 2 guys. You've had 2 Super Bowl weeks. You've had a Super Bowl week. So I want to ask the boys, how different is it preparing for a Super Bowl?
It's different. It's different. You better plan ahead. I think one of the most important things is get that family planning, get that done ASAP. Get it out the way, man. You're gonna get a bunch of
Did you have a week before each time, or did you go straight into?
Nah, usually both times we was at home for a week. And then the second week we was in whatever city, San Fran, and then for the Rams I was in Atlanta.
Sorted out before you left?
Get that family stuff sorted out quick. The tickets, I used to send bro like 20 racks. Here, get the Airbnbs, the cars, the plane ticket. You do everything and send him the tickets. I should just let him handle it. He was the responsible one. In the family, you handle everything, man. So the first time, but my first Super Bowl, I kind of handled it, and it was just a shit show. It was, I was trying to help them get in. Look, I can't do that, man. So that's what I learned from the first Super Bowl to the second one. Second one, I sent bro, let him do everything. I just chilled. I ain't have to do nothing. Another thing I say is schedule your body work, man. We get a lot of body work, a lot of stretching and IV, whatever we get done in our regular city. Make sure they there. Get them set up early as well, man. You don't want to change your routine. You want to have your guys on your same dates and make sure they comfortable, man. It's gonna be a little expensive, but it's gonna be worth it.
Not team personnel, your personal.
Yeah, everybody do their own stuff. Everybody got the stuff they do with the team, but we all, I'm sure Cody probably did too. We all got our own guy who we use on this day. And stuff that we do outside of the facility, make sure you got that stuff taken care of, man. And shit, the last thing I'll say is know your opponent. This is it's probably 2 times in the year where you know who you playing for 2 weeks. Yeah. The bye week, Super Bowl. Before the season, first game of the year, you don't really get to prepare. I can't really prepare because I don't know the game plan. I don't know shit. I know who I'm playing, but I don't know shit else. Every other time, you kind of know what we got going. So, man, get on that tape early. You got take advantage of all that time you got, man. It's easy to say, just treat it like a regular game. If I watch film 3 days, this ain't no fucking regular game. I don't care what nobody say. Crank up, man. Turn that film up a little bit and take advantage.
Were you done with film study before you arrived at the Super Bowl?
I probably was done with my game plan. I knew what we wanted to do, but I'm watching that film skip all the way to Saturday night.
Okay.
Before that game, right, bud?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm saying. So, and then a couple do nots. Don't go out there partying.
Really?
I'm telling you, don't go out there partying, man. It's so many distractions.
But did you?
I didn't.
Okay, good.
Neither one.
Nice.
Atlanta or San Fran. I did. It's the biggest game of my life, Kinsey. I don't like partying that damn much. You know what I'm saying? I like football. I love football. I like to party. I love football. You know what I'm saying? So it's parties every night. Everybody, all your friends around the league, they gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? It's something to do, somebody to hang out with every damn day. And it's super easy to get distracted. Hey, we over here, man. I'm gonna just go over here for a little while. That ain't what you regularly do on a Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? You don't hang out on Wednesday. So another thing, man, that I did my second Super Bowl is watch what the fuck you eat. Because you be out, like usually you be home or you might be at the hotel the day before the game. Now you at the hotel all week. Yeah. Man, I remember I went to damn crustaceans. I love crustaceans. But I went to crustaceans like on a Thursday with my family and shit, you know, just doing something that I don't usually do. Friday morning, early morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Where was this?
In San Fran.
Francisco. Yeah. Okay.
For our first Super Bowl.
Got it.
Friday morning, 3 in the morning, Skip. Oh, I was throwing up exorcist. Exorcist throwing up. I'm talking about was fucked up in practice on Friday. I'm having to get out. Like I had to shake myself back because I'm doing something I don't usually do. Throwing up all fucking night because I'm trying to eat this good ass seafood. I don't know what it was, but it had me throwing up. I love crustaceans though. But with your diet, man, don't. It's hard to keep that same diet in the hotel, and that shit matters. I'm telling you, that shit matters. You gotta try to prepare your body the same. Try to prepare your body the same way you would do on a regular game.
But that didn't affect your game, right? You're throwing up?
Not really, but you know, I ain't really like my Super Bowl though. I had a couple pass breakups, but I left some plays out there for real.
Really?
So who knows? If I'd have been a little more hydrated,
yeah,
you know, I might have won MVP of that motherfucker.
Maybe.
And what's it like with the media? Obviously, you have media obligations all week long.
But you can't change that though.
Yeah,
that's something that
is that exhausting?
It is. You get tired of it, but I mean, it's like, to me, that media shit was like wanting to go to the NFL and people asking you for pictures in the airport and stuff like you. It's just something you're gonna have to deal with. It's gonna be kind of annoying, but it's the good annoying. Like, damn, I'm in the NFL. Yeah, come on, bro, take a picture. It's that media. Like, damn, we got this media again. But hey, fucking shit, we in the Super Bowl. Damn, let's go get our face on this shit. Like, you get used to that. You can't do nothing about it, but you will get used to that. You know what I'm saying? It's a good problem, and it's early in the day. It don't make you be up at night. It don't really change your schedule. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't really have a problem with the media. What about you, bro?
The media, man, I was looking forward to the media. Now I can see if you by your second Super Bowl, you kind of being tired and annoyed with it, but you know, being a newbie to the Super Bowl environment, to the festivities, I took it all in. Now by Friday, Saturday, I'm like, all right, man, it's enough with the same questions. You done answered these questions a million times, but I appreciated it for sure. I appreciate it. And you were killing that crustacean. That was your second time going to crustacean.
I was out there.
I was like, hey, be easy on that crustaceans.
I was out there.
Nah, because I'm from San Francisco, so it was like coming home for me. Like I had all my off-season trainers and masseuses and extra work people there in place. You know, I was giving my teammates some people to get some work done, chiropractors and whatnot. So it was a little bit more comfortable for me. And like Lee said, you got to keep that schedule the same as you do when you at home. So that first week we stayed at home, did everything we had to do, got on the road. Now for me, Mondays is I let my hair down. We're gonna go out for a little bit, eat. Might go to a little bar or something for a little bit. Come in early, not out late, but we're gonna come in 1 a.m. That's what I did. I kept it normal. Got ready for practice treatment and everything. Tuesday, Wednesday, we got the game planning, going into extra game planning because the game plan is already set, before you even get out there. But it's just making sure you stay out of the way of the things you're not supposed to be a part of. The team organized media runs, the team organized outings where, we at the stadium or we're doing some of those things at night. You stick to that. When you get home, back to the hotels after that, it's no extra networking. It's no being seen amongst the normal crowd that's not involved with this game, because that's where your downfall is. And I don't know what the Panthers did, but I was, quoted saying a couple times like, oh, they want to be rappers. They want to be entertainers. We trying to get this dub. We want to be champions. So I know, I was just saying that. I don't know what they was doing, during the week, but their media presence was everything that I said it was. We was more, under the radar, did what we had to do, came in, curfew, and then we just kept it pushing that way. But, just stay out the limelight. You're going to get your limelight.
You had a curfew every night?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have one Monday?
Not at the beginning of the week. We probably had Monday, Tuesday, no curfew. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Do you remember what it was? Midnight-ish?
Probably was like 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I obviously haven't played in a Super Bowl, but I've been to a whole bunch of Super Bowls, dating all the way back to Super Bowl 10, and I'll never forget Super Bowl 15 in New Orleans. It was Raiders-Eagles featuring Ron Jaworski at quarterback, way before your time. So I'm out on Saturday night before the game on Bourbon Street, and I looked at my watch, and it was 1 a.m., late for me. But I look up, and there's a big group of Raiders, and they're heading back, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, man, 1 o'clock, that's pretty late the night before the Super Bowl. But I knew the team. I was close to Mr. Davis, God rest his soul, and his attitude was that players party. That's part of being a pro football player, is that you party. So that team was just doing what that team had done all year long, and they won 27-10 easily. So then another one is Super Bowl 30. The Cowboy teams I was close to, the dynasty teams of the 90s. This is in Phoenix. And Michael Irvin and company, they just tore the town up every night. And Barry Switzer had no curfew. They would have a quote-unquote curfew, but it was never enforced. Nobody would ever get disciplined for missing it. And Barry Switzer's motto was, win the game, win the party. He always said that. Win the game, win the party. But that week, they were winning the party, and then they went and easily won the game because they were way better than the Pittsburgh Steelers with Neil O'Donnell at quarterback. Okay? So that team partied. That's what it did, and it did it all year long, sometimes to a fault, but they just kept doing it right up to game time, and it didn't matter because they were just that much better than the Steelers were. So again, there are ways to. It's like your team mindset.
Right.
You got to keep doing what you did. Right.
But how has the media changed too? Because remember, we're over here talking about Pickens and CD out on a night out. Like, I feel like now with social media, cameras everywhere, the guys are out on the town before the Super Bowl.
I know, you're right.
It's going to be everywhere.
Everywhere. And then, I don't know. I don't know how it used to be back in the day, but if your ass go out and you drinking and you partying the night before the game, nowadays at this speed, you cruising for a bruising.
Yeah.
I
understand.
I'm telling you, it's just a different speed, a different twitch in 2026. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
I'm telling you, man. Or maybe it's just me, because I'm telling you, I see the partiers in this training room hurt. The guys who locked in, they be healthy. When I was a partier, I used to be hurt. When I locked in, I was healthy. So I'm just saying, it's a different day.
Because you obviously did your share of partying. Of
course.
You would always say, once the off season starts, now I'm going to give myself, what would you say, like a month or?
Well, it matters what league we talking about.
What era?
Stage.
Hey, Bucks League had a different mentality. I thought that I needed I just need a mental break. I ain't doing nothing until I go back to Tampa. So I used to do nothing January, February, or March, get back to Tampa in April, start my football again. You know what I'm saying? That was my motto. I used to get picks doing that, but I used to be hurt.
Okay.
I got older, got more mature. I used to give myself like a month off, Then, slowly get back into it. Be in great shape by the time I go in April. Then I used to be, less hurt.
Yeah.
So I did it both ways.
But the point of this is, it should just be a business trip.
It should be. Me too.
Yeah, I agree.
It should be.
Yeah.
I got a question though. What was a young Skip Bayless doing at 1 a.m. on Bourbon Street back in the day?
Thugging.
I know.
I like how we.
Thugging.
Hey, I was out at 1 a.m. I saw some of the other guys just talking about them. What was a young
Hey.
Skip doing back then?
I didn't have to play. I just had to write.
No, another thing.
Right? And you were getting the real media stories up at 1 a.m.
Another thing though, Skip, young guys, like, when you in that hotel, you kind of see what everybody else do. Like Bub said, I was giving people my body work. God, like, if you don't necessarily do that kind of shit, don't start doing that shit on Super Bowl week. Oh, I'm gonna get stretched and I'm gonna use a chiropractor this week and like don't do no shit that you don't usually do. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your shit the same, man. Don't get out of body like, oh, it's a Super Bowl. I need to do this ART treatment.
We was hustling to get healthy too because we had a few injuries coming off that AFC Championship. Some sprains, hamstrings. So we would have rehab parties. We have chiropractor here, art man there, stretch person there. We all in the basement. Everybody getting work, waiting their turn. 30-minute session here, 30-minute session, and we turned them into camaraderie type situation. That put us over the top for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't see too many teams like these 90s Cowboys anymore, these party boys. I mean, maybe they do on the low key, but not that crazy.
Maybe.
I mean, we first touched down. You know what I'm saying?
We got it in.
Sure.
We probably got there on Sunday. We went in Sunday. We probably went in Monday. We probably went in Tuesday. Then shit, we locked in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and got to it. But we was a partying team.
A lot of those 90s Cowboys didn't last that long.
Yeah.
If you want to know the truth.
Nah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, they was doing a little bit more than drinking.
You feel me?
That's well documented.
You feel me?
Yeah, definitely.
Nah, for real.
But last quick point about the media driving you crazy, asking you the same question. If any of today's players, these Super Bowl players, are watching, understand how the media is having to work because you're running from podium to podium to place, table to table. Yeah. So you can't help it. You caught a little bit of this guy and a little bit of that, and if you run up and you got a question, it's probably already been asked 3 times.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys just have to suck it up and realize it's a great stage. It's promoting. It helped you both.
It did.
Look
I
at
love
you now,
Man,
right?
I got some great quotes that last forever from some of the questions I got asked around the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, especially doing what we do now, you definitely understand it more. And I think players understand it as a general because now they all have their platforms and they ask people questions and doing that type of work. So, man, look, give it your all in the media, man. You're gonna look back and appreciate what you did for sure.
You got that right. Oof.
Well, that was a little behind the curtain of Super Bowl week, so that was fun. Now let's get into a little bit of drama, if you want to consider that. But Justin Jefferson, old teammate Sam Darnold, had something to say about his old teammate Sam Darnold. So let's take a listen to that.
Does a part of you feel like, hey, if you ran it back 1 more year, maybe that could have been you?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, definitely.
He's so sweet.
Especially, everyone knows the difficulty of the quarterback position this year, of how we was dealt it. But of course, having a quarterback that's already had the season under his belt with us, knew the plays, knew the playbook, knew the players, of course, throwing to me, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, all of these guys. I definitely felt like we would have done better. But it is what it is. It's on to new and better things. But I'm definitely happy and proud for him that he was able to reach it this year.
It sounds like he's missing Sam Darnold a little bit.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I got. He's like, we would have done way better with my guy Sam, but sorry, JJ. So Skip, how do you feel about what Justin Jefferson said? Good or bad? You like it?
It just hit me the wrong way. And I don't think Justin Jefferson's a bad guy. And I don't think he was thinking about what he was saying because it was thoughtless. It does his team no good right here, right now, going forward. It can't help JJ. JJ's not going to love it. It's not going to help JJ's confidence, which was shaky last year. It's not going to help the team's confidence in JJ. And the truth was, to me, that was just classic diva wide receiver talk. Just just predictable diva talk, because if you look at his numbers, they dropped dramatically from Sam Darnold's year to JJ's year.
Yeah.
JJ played 10 games. Then your guy Carson Wentz played 5, started 5, and then what's the other guy's name? Brosmer. I'd never even heard of him. Yeah, he comes out of nowhere and has to start the last 2. So JJ's numbers were career lows across the board. And from Sam's year, he had 19 fewer catches. His yards per game fell from 90 to 62 a game, and his touchdowns went from 10 down all the way down to 2. So to me, Justin Jefferson, that JJ, is making an excuse for himself. Like, well, I didn't have Sam Darnold, so all my numbers fell to career lows. Well, I don't know if that's exactly right, because J.J. McCarthy had some really good games. That opener at Chicago, that second half, he was really good that half. And then I think it was 3 games later, they went to Detroit when Lions that you picked were flying high, and he lit them up at Detroit. And then he came to Dallas on Monday night, and he lit us up. So he showed flashes of not greatness, but very goodness. And yet the numbers across the board weren't great for JJ. He was 11 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, went 6-4 as the starter. So I don't know, where's the win in what Justin Jefferson just said about in between the lines about his current quarterback? There's no win there. It doesn't help his current team at all. And he says he's rooting for Sam Darnold. Well, does he remember what happened to Sam Darnold the last 2 games that he played with Sam Darnold? Because he was horrendous in the 1-seed game that was at Green Bay, and then at Rams in the playoff game when Sam got sacked 9 times. So in those 2 games, he caught 3 balls in each game. I'm sorry, 3 balls and 5 balls, but it was for 50-some yards. So he didn't have big games in those 2 games. How quickly you forget how badly it ended for Sam Darnold in Minnesota. So it just, I just think it wasn't a smart thing to say because he wasn't thinking.
How you feeling?
Let Cody go.
Yeah, Cody, yeah.
He didn't have much to say in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you have, you know, personal experience with Sam.
I was just listening like the chat, man. I was enjoying the stories. I was learning. I agree with Skip a little bit on that. I think he could have said that a little bit better. But he's not wrong in what he said.
Yeah, I know.
Being honest,
He's really
I agree.
not wrong.
You know, they would have been better off this year with Sam Darnold. I know you mentioned those last 2 game skips, but you can't overlook what Sam did the entire season, his first year in the system. Threw for 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns and won 14 games. And in my opinion right now, outside of the quarterback position, the Vikings have a win-now roster. They have a win-now coach. They have a Super Bowl window. They have a great defensive coordinator in B-Flow. They've got the pieces in place, and he believes if Sam Darnold was there this year, second year in the system, working with him and T.J. Hawkinson and Jordan Addison, that could potentially be them making a run right now
but the
for a
truth
Super Bowl.
hurts, right?
Yeah.
It does. What
Coulda,
good does
shoulda,
it do?
woulda, and that's not.
No, absolutely. But he was asked a question, do you think that could have been you? And he answered the question directly. Yes, could he have worded it differently and worked around it? And he did say, too, at one point that, hey, we're on to newer and better things to give a quick, positive comment towards his quarterback. But, yeah, he's frustrated. And rightfully so. I mean, I'm with him on that a little bit. And I was the one that sat on this couch last week, though, and we talked about the 2024 quarterback class. I'm not out on J.J. McCarthy. I still think there's a question mark next to his name. I don't know if he'll quite get to, Caleb and Bo and Drake and all those guys, Jaden Daniels, but he has weapons around him. He could potentially be a good quarterback
in that class. Didn't you think he had his moments?
Yeah, he definitely had his moments this year. But so this is what it came down to for me, and I talked about this in the offseason, was the Vikings had to weigh out the risk. The risk was if you sign Sam Darnold to an extension and you keep him, he was only 28 years old. It wasn't like he was a 35-year-old veteran to where he might play 2 or 3 years, JJ can learn from him and then play. If you sign Sam Darnold and he goes into his prime at 28, now you basically have just lost a top 10 draft pick in J.J. McCarthy. You're going to have to trade him and move on. So they were trying to weigh out those options. In my opinion, I thought they should have done right by the team and kept Sam Darnold and gave him another opportunity, because at the end of the day, if they go win a Super Bowl or they make a run or they're good for the next couple of years, everyone's going to forget about that 10th overall pick that they not wasted, but could have used differently instead of using it on J.J. McCarthy. So I think the guys in the locker room, Justin Jefferson is aware of that, and he's a little frustrated. So, yeah, I'd like to see him protect his quarterback maybe a little bit more, but he's not wrong in what he said.
Hey, not wrong at all, man. If I'm looking back at the year I had with Sam Darnold, we got a guy in place. We make the playoffs. First year in the system. We're looking to improve next year. Proof is in the pudding. I'm all about consistency. Consistency makes great teams. Consistency keeps you in this league. It's not about one-hit wonders or moments, like you say, Skip. You got to do this shit all season. McCarthy didn't have a 300-yard passing game. He lost him some games, turned the ball over way too much, got sacked way too much for him to be so elusive and, athletic of a quarterback. And I just, when coaches and GMs talk about what they want and need more from players, they speak the truth. And he spoke the truth in this instance. I don't think y'all should have got rid of my guy. I think we would be in the Super Bowl. We had the defense, top 5 in a lot of areas. Flow there. We had everything we needed. And y'all took a risk on somebody that hasn't done anything, on somebody that's in college, to make us go over the hump. Like, what does that look like? What does that say to the rest of the guys that vets on this team that don't have much longer? We don't got time to rebuild or go out and think about what he might do. We have Sam Darnold right here and did what he did, and he's only going to get better in this system.
Yeah.
And then to see him thrive, all that, you're feeling that in the beginning. Yeah.
You played us out for this quarterback who no one really had that high on their boards to go anyway. Like, we seen what he did at Michigan. They were a running team. He was successful.
I don't know. He made a bunch of big throws. He did. They won the chip, man.
Right. They won the chip, but he was not like that.
Okay, so you like it that Justin said this?
If you want the truth, you get the truth.
All right, and it does the team what good right now?
I don't think anything is doing that team good right now. Like
at home. I don't got no problem with it because, you always want to take in consideration your teammates, right? But sometimes you can professionally voice your frustration with the org. You know what I'm saying? He did it in a very professional way.
And very sweet.
Like, he ain't really shit on nobody. He laughed and kind of professionally
good point.
Voiced his frustration with the org. Like, I ain't really agree with that, you know what I'm saying, that decision they made. But, hey, I'm going to live with it. I'm going to do what I do. So
is that going to help his relationship with J.J. McCarthy going forward?
Sometimes
you saw it at the end of the year, though. I don't think they were thriving at the end of the year anyway.
You never know, Skip. So it might.
And he been talking about trade. They been talking about. He been in trade talks. So
I would see Justin Jefferson's
face. It might make JJ lock in more. Sometimes you call somebody out, they lock in more.
Yeah.
Sometimes it send you further apart. Shit, JJ might text him, "Hey, we gonna get this shit together, bro. Don't worry about it. I'm woo." Like, he might have heard it, and so we don't know what it's gonna do. We don't know what.
Or he might text him, "Thanks a lot."
He might text him, "Hey, fuck you." We don't know, but we'll see. But I know, it's the way to be honest and professional at the same time. I thought Justin Jefferson did a great job of it.
Okay, so a couple days before, the Vikings quietly fired their GM, who I wasn't all that familiar with, but Kwesi Adolfo-Mensa was the classic case of the analytics guy who went undergrad to Princeton, was a walk-on college basketball player, then goes graduate school Stanford, then goes and it works on the commodities market on Wall Street, and then somehow connects with the 49ers, and they hire him as like an analytics assistant, and then Andrew Berry, the Cleveland GM, hired him to be his assistant just to do analytics, and then somehow off that, he becomes the Minnesota Vikings general manager. And reportedly, he leaned heavily on Pro Football Focus to make a lot of his draft decisions. So you got it. But over his 4 years of drafts, they ranked second worst in the league. So maybe Pro Football Focus failed him. I don't know. But the point was, he was very open about the fact that he wasn't the best leader, that he mostly stayed in his office and he did it from a distance. So it failed miserably. I wasn't even aware who he was, and he got fired when he was at the Senior Bowl. I don't know why they waited so long after the season to fire him. But the point is that all sounds like a mess to me, and I'm sure he had a big say in the Sam Darnold decision. I think Kevin O'Connell would have maybe a slightly bigger say in that. So I don't know that we can blame Kwesi completely for this, but that's the organization that you say Justin Jefferson is sort of taking a shot at. Maybe it's bigger. Maybe it's at the GM who got fired, or the fact that he was even in power. Yeah. So the best thing they got going for him is that Brian Flores didn't get a head coaching job, and he's still the coordinator. So at least you got that going.
Yeah.
He had something to do with that, right?
Yeah, he did.
So he doing something. He brought Darnold in the first time, right?
He did.
Yeah.
So, hey.
And I didn't think Carson Wentz was a bad idea for a backup quarterback, right?
He brought Carson. Yeah. He ain't just absolutely strike out. That's what I'm saying. He had the Vikings with a team 1 game away from being the first seed.
Yeah.
Can't forget about that.
He did.
He was the GM when that happened.
Yeah.
Hey,
And as many injuries as they had at quarterback, they still went 9-8 in a tough division.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not awful. It's not a
Exactly. It ain't awful.
disaster, right?
Yeah. That division
it was hard.
was
Hey,
hard.
yeah.
It was
Hey.
probably the top in the.
It was.
Well,
West,
second in the
yeah,
East.
that's
I mean,
right.
second in the NFC.
Yeah.
I gotta say the West was the
The
first.
West was the hardest for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, lots of question marks for the Vikings right now, and hopefully, obviously, they get it together, and hopefully those boys, make up, because we don't know what's happening next year with J.J. McCarthy. But now let's move on to Sam Darnold, the man that is going to the Super Bowl, because if his offensive coordinator, even though they have 1 game left, looks like he's going to be swooped off the market by the Las Vegas Raiders for the head coaching job. So that is going to be Klint Kubiak. You guys have talked for a while that Klint was at the top of your guys' list if you guys were going to be hiring. So after a terrific season in Seattle, Klint will be the new offensive coordinator. This is what we're hearing. He's going to be inheriting Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers, as well as $90 million in cap space. So it's looking a little bright in Vegas. I feel like I have some hope. They also got the first overall pick with Fernandez Mendoza. So, Aqib, give the Klint Kubiak hire a letter grade.
A+.
A+?
Whoever got Klint was gonna get the A+, man. It's time for him to shine, man. This is a football bloodline guy. We know his dad, Gary Kubiak. He played and coached under Mike Shanahan. So he know the original Shanahan system like the back of his hand. Now that's your dad, right? You getting into coaching. You don't think he with his dad learning that shit?
Yeah.
He learning that shit. And then he had a chance to coach under his dad in Denver, in Minnesota. So he's learning that real OG Shanahan system. Then he go to San Fran as the pass game coordinator with the young Shanahan. Now he learned the new Shanahan system and get a little bit of both, get to put his own offense together. Now he running his own version of it in Seattle, and it's one of the most explosive offenses in the league, if you ask me. So just being around him in Denver for, I think, 2 years I was around him, you could feel the leadership, bro. He's a real football guy. He know everybody in the building. He bring that same energy every day. He's just a great football mind, a great guy to be around in the building. Then you send him to Vegas. He got his workhorse running back. He got a premier tight end. He got his quarterback. His quarterback going to be able to handle anything you throw at him. A older veteran type of guy, a veteran type of rookie coming in, you know what I'm saying? Already graduated. He been straight football for a year or so.
Yeah.
So he'll be able to handle anything that you throw at him, man. The offense that he going to bring over there. And the best thing about it, he got a young group of receivers too. You sleep on them Raiders receivers. Them a young group of guys, fast ass 6'4" guy. I mean 6'5". He 4'2", 6'5". Like he got a good group where he need to maybe put a number 1 receiver with him, clean up that O-line a little bit. He got $90 million to do so.
Yep.
So he gon' clean up that offense, man. And I'm telling you, the Raiders will not be damn dead last or second to last or whatever they was in running the football. I guarantee you that. And they will be a top offense. He got to do some work, the D coordinator and so on. But that Raiders offense, they going to be legit. I promise you that.
Cody, you're the offensive
Yeah, I
guy.
gave
What
it
do
an
you
A
think?
also. I really like this hire. I think this was a huge win for the Raiders. I know, Klint Kubiak's never been a head coach before, but I'm with the key. When your dad's Gary Kubiak, who won a Super Bowl with these two guys right here, also was a head coach for 10 years and then spent 10 years under Mike Shanahan as an offensive coordinator, the OG of the Shanahan tree. I promise you he's sharing all that information with Klint Kubiak and teaching him what it takes to be successful in the NFL, and we're seeing that right now in real time. Now, this is his 3rd stint as an offensive coordinator. The first 2 times with the Vikings and the Saints weren't great, but now he takes over in Seattle, and he's quickly becoming one of the best offensive minds in all of football. Seattle this year in the regular season, 8th in total offense and 3rd in scoring offense. A big reason for that was because of Klint Kubiak's play calling. Now, I know that play calling is a lot different than leading a football team. We always talk about that. Some guys are great offensive coordinators. They don't translate to becoming great head coaches. We don't know that yet, but what makes me feel really confident about this hire is that Klint Kubiak spent last season with Mike Macdonald. Mike Macdonald took over for the Seahawks at 36 years old, and all he's done since then is win 26 games, go 15-2 on the road, win the division, and now he has his team in the Super Bowl in his first 2 seasons. I guarantee you he has learned a lot from Mike Macdonald during that time on what it takes to be a young, successful head coach. Now, You could argue that the Raiders situation is a lot different than the Seahawks situation. I understand that, but I promise you he's taken those notes that he learned from McDonald and applying that to building a culture and a foundation with the Raiders. The other reason I like it, from what Aqib said, is the Raiders, even though they had a terrible year this year, it was bad by really every category, they have a lot of optimism going into this offseason. They just hired, in my opinion, the best coach of this cycle, maybe outside of Harbaugh. They also have their potential franchise quarterback with the #1 overall pick if they decide to take Fernando Mendoza. They have some key players on that roster with Bowers, with Genty, Max Crosby. You'll see what they do with him. But they've also got almost $100 million to spend, which is second in the NFL in cap space. Now, they need to. John Spytek needs to use that money towards the offensive line or everything we're saying is irrelevant, but I think he will, and they'll go get some pieces up front. But they also have Tom Brady in the building, too. They can teach them how to build an organization, how to win games, and the do's and don'ts to build a successful franchise. So, yeah, I like it a lot. I know it's always a risk with these first-time head coaches, but there is a lot to like about Klint Kubiak, and I'm excited for the Kubiak era in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I like Klint. I like the hire. I can't give it an A. Just because I'm a track record guy, man, and he's been doing it for a very short time. He had a great year this season with the Seahawks under McDonald, but let's look at their roster. It's loaded. It's loaded. They got JSN, they got Walker, first-round pick, come in, and Sam Darnold, proven quarterback, just did it with the Vikings. It's like, okay, great. What can you do with a roster that's not loaded? We've seen what happened in New Orleans. Wasn't great. They were pretty much bottom of every category in passing and in offense. Now, they had some injuries. Olave was hurt. Rashid was hurt a little bit, but that goes back to what does your offense produce? How do they produce without the big-name guys all the time? Are you still at least middle of the pack in some of these categories without your big-name guys, right? We look at Minnesota, same type of situation, middle of the pack offense, okay rushing. It just wasn't screaming like it was in Seattle. Now, Oakland, he's going to have the benefit of being able to select a lot of guys as he wants with all that cap room, right? $90 million. You get to go pick who you want and build this team really in the image of what you want them to be. So I'm excited to see that. I think he has great potential, but like you said, he's still kind of young. He hasn't been a head coach, which I'm not knocking at all, but I need to see more production in what you're doing year in and year out. 1 year is great. That's amazing. Now, you can do that potentially next year with a loaded roster again, but what are you going to do when some of those guys get hurt? What are you going to do to have a consistent track record? When you look at Todd Monken, the reason I gave him an A in Cleveland, he had done it everywhere he was. Even when he wasn't play calling, he was coordinating or he was, pass game coordinator, but those offense, whoever was in place in those positions, they were top of the league, top of college football, top in everything he did. Yeah. So I just need to see more time, but I still give him a B. I think, like Lee said, he comes from a great tree. He has it installed in him, and, we'll see.
And to your point, Monken has some damn good rosters, too. He has some damn good rosters, too.
Well, at Georgia,
Georgia, yeah, for sure.
He has some damn good rosters.
But he also has some not so good rosters.
And it takes time. Sometimes he's going to learn stuff from the Saints, the Vikings, and now he's applying that with the Seahawks. I can't deny they have a great roster. That's obviously true, and you're not going to have that roster in Las Vegas, at least maybe for the first couple of years. But the biggest question in the NFL is, what have you done for me lately? And lately, he's had a top offense.
Absolutely.
I think that was a big reason he got hired.
Then Minnesota, Kube was the quarterback. The OC. But he was the quarterback coach, and they was cooking. They was probably like fifth in the league offense. They was clocking. You know what I'm saying? I think the year before he was the OC.
He was quarterback,
Yeah, he was the quarterback coach. Yeah, he was the quarterback coach there. You know what I'm saying? They was clocking. So that's on his resume, too, to me, shit.
I'm with TJ on this. I can't go higher than a B because there's too much X factor. There's too much unknown. There's too much you can't know. We can't know. Nobody can really know how he will be as the leader of a franchise. You can't teach it. You can't be born with it. You just have to have it. Your father can't bring it out of you genetically somehow.
He can give it to you genetically, though.
Okay, I get that, but I've seen a lot of sons who just weren't their father. They just couldn't live up, measure up. I do respect your eye test to people, and you believe in him, so that makes me want to believe in him. I just don't know, because I've seen so many swings and misses on first-time offensive head coaches just because they coordinated. and then all of a sudden they're on the sideline with the headset on, and they just get lost, and they can't do both effectively. It sort of dilutes both sides, where they can't coordinate as well, they can't call plays as well, and they can't manage the whole game as well because they've never done it before.
Okay, so real quick, Skip.
All right.
Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan. Them 5 who did great at what you just said right now. First time young head coaches, offensive guys, flourished immediately.
Jonathan Gannon, Brian Callahan, Gerard Mayo, Matt Eberflus, Brandon Staley, Nathaniel Hackett, Matt Nagy, Joe Judge, David Culley, Adam Gaze, Freddie Kitchens, Ben McAdoo. I could keep going on for the rest of the show. They're all swings and misses from nowhere. Like you try it and it just didn't work.
See, but everybody I named
you're
from that
right.
same tree, though.
Okay, I got it.
You see the
Yeah.
But you know what?
You see the common denominator, they all from this
They also inherited a lot. They always inherited a lot too.
Yeah.
Number 1 overall draft pick, system with the Niners, Green Bay, first Jordan Love. You know, you inherited a lot too.
Yeah. I'm
Liam
giving
Cohen,
you.
though, inherited
Liam Cohen had
bad
number 1
team.
overall.
Yeah.
McVay inherited a bad team. You feel me?
Yeah. No, you're right.
Ben Johnson.
Skip's point.
Ben Johnson got a number 1 pick.
yeah.
That was a bad
It's a
team.
risk.
I think it was a bad coach more than a bad
But
team.
that's with any coach, I think.
And I just
Be a hit
named
or
5. Skip is probably
Okay.
more. I just did off the top of my head. You did your research.
I'll go B on tree because I love the tree. I love his father, and you know his father, and you won with his father.
Yeah.
Sure.
I love that, and I give you that. And then I look at his bloodlines through the whole tree, and he's the oldest of 3 boys, and Clay is the offensive coordinator now under Kyle. That means he's just observing. He's not calling plays, not doing much, but he's
You got to do first, though.
all right. And then Klein is a scout. The youngest is a scout for the Dallas Cowboys. So he's coming up. Who knows what's going to happen. But the Raiders, it looks good. I'm just going to say this again about Ashton Genty. I didn't see what you kept seeing in him. I'm just not sure about him. I'm not sure.
You a stats guy, though, Skip, so how?
What's that? How?
Yeah, you a stats guy. I mean, look.
Okay. All right. But I
Just
know
look at the final numbers.
I'm really, in the end, I'm an eye test guy. I'm just watching on TV. I didn't see explosive. I didn't see what you saw, where I see all-time, I see potential Hall of Famer, I see perennial Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it. I saw a
But
lot
did you
of.
also see his offensive line?
Yeah, and that was the big
Maybe.
thing, is they're missing up.
But just read the final numbers for us, Kinsey.
I know, because 975, finishing with 975 yards in your
And
rookie
getting
year
hit
with,
behind the line of scrimmage most of the time.
with that offensive line.
How many touchdowns?
Because I
Kinsey?
agreed with you. I didn't see it, and then when I looked at it, and I
How
looked
many
at that
touchdowns
offensive
he
line,
had total?
5.
That's just rushing, or that's total?
Man, look,
Total.
I've
So he had
seen
double
some
digits.
runs from Genty last year where he was just running through safeties and linebackers like they didn't want to hit him.
Like,
yeah.
Powerful.
Had to, because
now, it
he
wasn't
didn't
too
hit
many
behind the
because he
line.
couldn't get to the second level because
Yeah.
they was on his ass. But man, like
But you know what can help unlock that, though, Skip, is a guy like Clint Kubiak.
Sure, I
With
got
those
that.
outside zones,
I know.
those reach blocks,
Creative.
get him in space like he did
Yep.
with Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet.
Right.
That's what can help unlock Ashton
screens.
Genty. That's why
Yep.
he comes in the pass game as well, those extended handoffs. Because if you watch the tape last year, he was getting hit behind the line consistently. That offensive line couldn't A block, they couldn't B block, they couldn't reach
Yeah.
block, they couldn't get in space. Chip Kelly was trying everything. I didn't love his
That'd be
scheme,
hard for anybody.
but nothing was working. And he was getting hit time after time behind the
goes back
line.
to the
It's
system.
tough to really see flashes when that happens.
when you're in a system that is known to be successful, how much is it of that system, play action, zone reads, of that than it is actual coaching? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have a system, a cookie cutter system that is known to be successful from 1980 to
Right.
2025, you just got to come in and do this and do that. Now, what of your spin of actual coaching relating to players?
You got to know how to run
game
that
planning?
system, though.
Yeah, I'm just
Like,
asking.
it's been
I'm not-
coaches,
I'm not,
under that tree who's went and failed, like the Titans.
Exactly.
Trash.
So what
He
makes
ain't know how to run that system.
What is the difference?
I think
in
the
that?
biggest thing
You
is
feel me?
there's an art to play calling. You've always got to have a plan in place, and sometimes you're going to get punched in the mouth and it's not going to work. I could walk into a game and have my first 15, and 12 of those 15 could be terrible.
Yeah.
I immediately know I got to cross all those off my list when I go in at halftime. Let's come up with new 12 plays to start our second 15 in the second half and make adjustments. I also could come out and say it's 1st and 10. Good coaches know I'm ready for a second and long, a second and medium, a second and short, an explosive play, a shot play at the 40. We might get a big play down in the red zone. It's just playing ahead of time and being, always one step ahead of the defense is when, because I could give all of us the same scheme, the same system, and just pick buttons, say, hey, you pick this play, you pick that play, you pick that play. It's the way that you call it is the biggest factor why we see some of these guys successful.
By the way, I've never understood first 15 because it's all situational. What if it's
based off the game plan?
So first 15, I want to see how are they going to react if we come line up in slot?
Yeah.
How are they going to react to this motion?
Yeah.
Okay,
how are they going to react to our empty? So
but what if it's second and short?
Then you go away from it. So the first 15, no, second and short, you can get away from it, but really the base game plan is first and second down. So your first 15 are, and like Aqib said, you're going to get some 12 personnel. Let's get some 21 personnel. Let's get some 11, some 13. Let's try different things, see how they're going to react. The first 15 is really, all right, these first two plays of the drive are 1 and 2. If we get to third down, we go from the first 15 to our third
number
down.
9.
It's based off of the
or we come out the next series.
So you don't got to necessarily do them in order.
Yeah.
We need to run these 15 plays to see how they going to adjust to what we doing. After that, now we know, all right, we get in slot, they're going to come slide over, and we can run this play.
See if what they've done in the past, their characteristics match what they're going to do with you today.
Exactly.
And things that I hate, too, about sometimes with play callers is they'll run something on the first 15 that's successful and they never go back to it. I love when, and you can run it in different formations, but when you use that first 15, those are the plays, at least on Wednesday's practice and on Saturday walkthroughs, that you run the most, knowing that I can call these in crucial situations at any point in time during the game, and we can go be successful with our eyes closed. You got to use those and filter them in throughout the game, and then you jump to the third down red zone. So it's all games within a game, Skip. That's a good question, man. It's
all right.
How you use those first 15 is important.
TJ touched on this, but Klint did coordinate the previous year at New Orleans, and it didn't go well. They were 24th in points scored, and they start off, and Derek Carr played the first 10 games. Okay, so you had a pretty good quarterback, pretty good run game. Ooh. They came to Dallas, just ran Dallas off the field. Of course, Micah Parsons was playing. That's a whole nother issue. We won't get started on it. But the point was, I saw flashes, and then by the end of the year, they had to go to Spencer Rattler. I got it. But it wasn't all that impressive. And then he winds up, Mike McDonald takes him to Seattle, and the rest is history. So did he suddenly turn into a genius under Mike McDonald with JSN and Sam Darnold? I don't know.
Right.
But the point is, there's still some X factor here, and then there's an X factor in Las Vegas, and his name is Tom Brady.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, the more I read and the more I talk to people, Tom is hands-on. So
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, is it for Klint Kubiak? Well, listen, after every game, I'm not saying Tom was wearing the headset during one Monday night game, so at least he's listening to the play calls, and I can guarantee you that after every game, he's going to want to have a chalk talk session with Klint about why did you call this and why didn't you call that, because he's Tom Brady, right? So
it's a good thing.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want an extra set of hands like Tom Brady?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Unless he drives you crazy.
Because then you could be like, this didn't work, let's.
What would you do?
Yeah.
Well, usually in these situations, we did like this.
And he's going to need some help developing Mendoza. Like, you got a young quarterback coming in.
Exactly.
He's blessed in his own right. You know, before he even steps foot on NFL field, you see how much he studies, and he ain't got no girlfriend. He just locked in 100%.
I don't know if the internet's trying to change that.
Balls on balls.
All the time. Yes. But are you saying that it's a negative thing having Tom Brady in the building?
Listen, Tom is psycho-competitive, and he might decide after 3 games, I don't like the way he's calling the game. I'm going to tell him it's got to be this way. And Klint might freak out saying, my father says, because his father's going to be his biggest advisor.
My mama said.
My father says we should do it this way, Tom. What are you going to say? Tom's never called plays before, right?
Tom go say, fuck it.
I think you be putting a little extra on what Tom do.
I don't think so, honestly.
Is Tom still going to be calling games next year?
Of course.
Yeah, he's going to be a little.
Hope so. He's gotten better. I will say.
I like Tom on the
He's got a lot better this year, too.
I do, too. I like him on the booth.
I like him better than some of them other guys.
I really enjoy him. He adds an extra, explanation to certain things, and I'm like,
back to what makes a good play caller point that I got to add is knowing the tendencies of a defense. If I get to this down and distance on the field, I know there's a high percentage chance they're going to run cover 4, so I'm going to run my cover 4 beaters. If they don't give us that, then I'll check maybe to a run, or I'll get to a different play call based off of the defense and then work with that. I think Klint Kubiak does a great job of that, because you see Sam Darnold And that Shanahan tree, they always walk up with 2, maybe 3 play calls at once at the line of scrimmage. If it's 2 high, check to this. If it's 1 high, check to this. If it's all out cover 0, here are my 0 beaters as well. So they always have a plan, and Kubiak, in my opinion, fits in that mold, and that's why he's been successful this year.
And I think it was Robert Saleh who said it, like Liam Cohen and Sean, they always get to the I'm telling you, because they got that little, it's a little nuance in that system that other people don't know.
Yeah.
I think other people are just too proud to say, yo, this is the best. Like,
I mean,
it's always been from the Houston Texans to the Denver Broncos.
It's something
to
in that system. I'm
whoever
telling you.
runs it, it's going to
do
be
with your
productive. Hey,
signs,
look,
or
run,
know
run,
what you
pass,
in.
play action.
They
Just
like-
get it together. You just don't mess
They
up.
like guessing what you win.
Yeah.
They do something and they know what you win and they get to the perfect play. And you heard a defensive coordinator, respected defensive coordinator, what he say? He said it, right? He kind of tried to tell on them, so to speak. Like they always know we try not to do our signs because they still are signs. And I'm telling you, it's
That's
something.
why Salah and
Salah talking about
Yeah, he's talking about Liam Cohen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Liam Cohen come from that tree. Sean, he always in the perfect play. Shanahan always in the perfect play. I'm telling you, it's
Man,
they make you
it
communicate
don't even
different
matter
on
what you're
defense.
running on
Yeah.
defense, bro.
They
You get them
dictate-
linemen to reach.
They dictate what you're going to
Find
do on
the
defense
crease.
instead of you dictating
You
what
got
they're
a
going to
good
do.
back,
And if you try to
find the
dictate what they're
crease.
going to do, boom, watch this checked in, and we're going to go.
You got a good back.
We're going to force you into these coverages by our formation and alignments and all these different things. And if you don't get to that coverage, then we'll check off of that and make a big
If
play.
you got a back that can read, block,
a science
you're
to it,
going to be
It is a
successful.
science to it.
Well, the boys are split. Okay, we've
Wait a
got.
second.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Aqib said Friday he's leaning Patriots in this game after you just anointed Klint. So how could you not pick Seattle, right? Well, I'm just saying. I
The
don't
OC
know.
can't be on the field,
Right?
unfortunately.
I'm just, what they got to do with my pick?
It has a lot to do.
Like Clint as
I mean,
the
you
OC.
give Klint an A+, but you're picking
man.
New England.
Shit, I think Clint gonna do his thing. He gonna get 28.
Is he?
That's his job. Give me,
Yeah.
give
You
me
get
4
28, they're
tutties.
going to win that.
Hey,
Well, Brady better hope he doesn't suck in this game, right? That Klint doesn't just lay an egg in this game. That'd look bad for the Raiders, right?
Hey, the pressure be on, no?
I know. That's for everybody.
Tight. You be tight. I'm a head coach. I'm leaving. It's my last game. It be pressure. So, same with Sam Darnold. Clint only is going to be as good as Sam Darnold.
You don't think Klint might be a little distracted this
And
week
Walker.
as he's starting to put his staff
Walker gotta
together?
go for a
interviews.
$100.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Walker got to
Very.
go for $100.
But he's also got to be selfish in this situation and do what's best for him and his family. He obviously wants to win this game, but there's a future he's got to worry about as well. So
Exactly.
there's 2 parts to it.
But winning,
But this legacy,
winning a
though,
Super Bowl as
you
a
wanna
coach,
win-
though,
you wanna
kind of
win
adds
this.
to
It is
your
one,
family,
that's
I would
true.
say.
That's true. I agree with that. Winning a Super Bowl is huge.
And I just
Yeah,
said
for
I'm
your
leaning.
legacy.
I'm
And-
leaning.
and-
Skip, I ain't picked the Patriots.
No, it's just funny.
I'm just leaning.
like Klint.
We haven't got
God's
picks
gift to
yet,
coaching,
though.
Feel me?
We haven't gotten picks yet.
I'm going back and forth with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, the boys are split. We got A's and B's, but that's pretty close. And the chat is, majority of you guys have an A, but right behind is a B, so they're agreeing with the boys.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the next coaching job that has been filled. Arizona has found their new head coach, and it's Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFluer. LaFleur had the Rams ranked 5th in passing yards, first downs, and touchdowns since taking the role. Matt and Mike, now the newest brotherhood of head coaches, and this is the 4th Sean McVay coaching tree in the league. McVay has now had 4 offensive coordinators in his tenure with the Rams. And we'll put them up here. Matt LaFleur, Kevin O'Connell, Liam Cohen, and Mike LaFleur, all head coaches in the NFL now. Pretty impressive by Sean McVay, I would say.
Sean and Kyle might have to split Mike, though. Because Mike was with Kyle for 4 years.
True, that's fair.
And then he went with Sean for 2 years. So.
You can't give it to Sean.
I mean, you
You're
can
not
give it
giving
to
it to
Sean, but when you put Kyle Tree up there,
But
I want
ain't
him on
Sean
my tree.
He was
Kyle
also with
too?
Kyle
Yeah.
with
So how you
Atlanta
put,
also.
How you put Danielson in front of Mr. Miyagi? Like, that's...
Because he won the offensive coordinator.
Who
over
was
there.
it?
I don't think Mike LaFleur was the
No, I'm
offensive
talking
coordinator
about
over there.
McVay
No.
under Shanahan.
So Mike was an offensive assistant with the Falcons under Shanahan. Then he was a pass game coordinator
For
from 2017 to 2020
So they
with
all
Shanahan.
Shanahan.
So they all big Shanahan.
Yeah.
So we talking about like young Shanahan and
okay.
Sean McVay.
Okay, they like
Kyle,
his,
yeah, they
yeah,
like
for sure.
you feel me? They
I
got their
got
own tree. Everybody come from OG Shanahan.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Every coach we gonna talk about today, we're
That's
gonna be
system.
talking about this tree all
Yeah.
damn day.
Kubiak to the Texans.
Everybody we talking
Look,
about.
if I'm
Yeah,
a coach,
it's the new
I got
way.
Doyle Doyle, Declan Doyle,
I'm
been
gonna
gone.
be part of the Shanahan tree.
We gonna get
Yeah.
to the Eagles.
and
What
the
the Eagles
Shanahan
doing?
tree.
Yeah.
Getting with the program.
I
Now
know.
let's get with this tree with Mannion.
He needs a master class,
telling you.
really.
This is a hard defense to stop, especially during the regular season.
Man, I practice against this shit, bro. I'm like, oh
I had
my
my
God.
worst game
Is he
against Arian
blocking
Foster and
me,
them.
or is he running the crossing route?
Cool was
That's
the
my whole
Texans.
damn game.
Shit.
Yep.
All
Play
right.
action, get you running to damn. Because you got to set the edge as a corner and try to cover a
I
guy
gotta
going
crack
across the
replace.
field. Like,
Telling you, it's a
they get to
motherfucker, man.
toting, that shit hell.
All right, let's get some letter grades from Mike LaFluer. Howard. Let's start with you, TJ. What would you
Hey,
give it?
man, they ain't no hard balls. I'll tell you that. Mike LaFluer,
They might.
yeah, man, I give this a C minus.
C minus.
I
Oh,
give
wow.
it a C minus, man. Like,
Coming in
Arizona,
low.
They ain't been hiring great, man. They started with Queensberry, Gannon, he out of there. Now you got Mike LaFleur coming in. He ain't done nothing. You know, he was with the Falcons, 15, with the Niners again under Shanahan. He got his chance with the Jets, and that was disaster. 4-13, ruined Zach Wilson's career. Where's he at right now?
Ruined his own damn career.
Yeah, don't nobody know where he at.
Miami.
Yeah, 26 in total yards, 28th in total offense, right? And, you know, 2 years, and next year he goes 7-10. Go end the season without scoring a touchdown in the last 3 games. Get another opportunity with the Rams. Go be under McVay again. You're going to get fired up. Don't call no plays, just in the system. Now you get a head coaching job. I'm just like, what have you really done? Like, have you developed anyone? Who have you developed? No.
But we don't
When
know.
you have a top offense? No. I mean, what you gonna do at quarterback in Arizona? What you gonna do? You gonna keep Kyler? Kyler ain't listening to you. He ain't listening to Queensberry. He damn sure ain't listening to Gannon. You bring another young guy in there, he ain't gonna listen to him either. So you gonna get a new coach?
Well, he must
It's
have had a
just
good
like,
plan for that in the meetings.
Huh?
He must have presented a good plan for that.
Man, he must
Yeah.
have an excellent plan because the proof is definitely not in the pudding. You know, Garrett Wilson, when he was in New York, said our offense is predictable and stale. So,
He did.
I mean, this is coming from the players. It's just like,
And
you
he
do
had 1,000
1 year
yards that
here,
year,
1
too.
year there, 1 year there, and you the head coach. Like, it's craziness. I mean, what
So you
want to
see all the OCs who've been OC. You want to see? I don't get it.
No, I want
What
to
you
see
wanna
some production. I want to see something that you can say,
So you
you
want
got
all
somebody better,
65-year-olds to
you've
be head
improved in 2 years. No, it ain't about 65-year-old
That was
coaches.
great.
It's
Like,
about
what-
doing something that's productive that we can look back and say, this is a great reason
Like
why.
Sean
What
McVay
would be the
did.
great hire for Mike LaFleur right now? What can you point to?
My biggest reason for this Mike LaFleur hire is because his familiarity with the NFC West. I think that's
familiar. I'm familiar with the NFC
No,
West.
but listen, you're inside the building with Shanahan, with McVay. You know the ins and outs of what they do in the organization
Yeah.
and why they're successful. You spent the last 2 years game planning against Mike McDonald and the Seahawks. They're taking a shot, in my opinion. The Cardinals looked at it like, let's go grab a guy from this system, but also who's familiar with this conference because we're in the best damn conference or division in football right now. We've got to go win games, so let's go get a guy that we think can counteract some of these other coaches and have a way to win. I think that
Right,
played
we the
attractive.
only team in the division
That's
who don't
done
run the
nothing.
system,
Yeah.
and we the trash ones, right? Well, you got us fucked up. Let's go take their OC. Now we run the system too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying he been under Shanahan 4 years, under McVay 2 years. That's what I like about it. I like the system that he gonna bring us. He gonna have our offense rolling. I bet you they not second last in the league and running the ball next year. I bet my underdog check on that. Let's do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I guarantee you they get that bitch popping. Like, that offense was trash, wasn't it? It was trash, bro. Like,
I mean,
they nice.
some things.
They nice.
beat the
Like,
Cowboys.
San Fran nice, the Rams nice, Seattle nice. All of them run the same style of offense. Like, bro, how can I not get with their program?
So they going to win
Fuck
the
that.
NFC West next year.
I ain't said they're going to win.
No.
I ain't said they're going to win, but they're going to get with the program.
Yeah.
If everybody's
Good
doing
luck
this
on
nice
that.
Yeah,
and
I'm
everybody
finna
else
say,
is
if you
okay,
think you gonna beat
get
the
with the
Masters
program.
you
That's
still-
step one.
You got to win the division. So you're going to win the division doing exactly what all these guys taught you to
Well,
do?
Seattle
They gonna know
don't-
you like the back of their hands.
You don't
Seattle
need
doing
to
it.
win.
They doing it a different way. They doing it from a defensive side. Obviously, Mike McDonald is a defensive coordinator. He's not an offensive coordinator side. He came in and made that defense say, I know how to stop what they doing.
Yeah.
Somewhat. But you got this guy coming
McDonald
in.
ain't-
He been, hey, go get my coffee. Hurry up.
The
You know what I'm
Rams,
saying? Like,
the
you're
Rams
saying
get,
LaFleur?
the Rams get Seattle a
As the
third ball every time they play.
he might not be
I'm
calling
not saying
plays,
that's
but
an
I guarantee
OC,
you
but
he's
look,
involved.
He's the coffee
15
guy.
seconds.
Fair.
He was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother played running back for them in Atlanta. I ain't gonna tell you everything he told me, but look,
I mean, that was.
I don't think it's a great hire.
That was years ago.
10 years ago,
That's
9 years ago.
He got with the Niners.
It's 2020.
It's okay. 21
years
20.
ago.
But what am I saying is, what has he produced? He got 2 shots in New York under Robert Saleh.
But
a defensive coach.
to that
So
point,
you know
though,
he ran the show. He got to do everything he wanted to do.
I
and
agree.
they was butt.
Yeah,
I agree.
His quarterback was butt.
But it wasn't just-
But
it wasn't just his-
Was it his quarterback or was it the way he developed his quarterback?
I think
as
it was
a young
two parts.
rookie
I think it was two
quarterback?
parts because in New York, you're right. 29 scoring offense first year, 28 scoring offense second year. They were
Yep.
bad. But it wasn't just Zach Wilson. They rotated guys. There was never stability at the quarterback position. Zach Wilson. Then they had
fault
Mike
is
White.
that?
Then they had Joe Flacco. Then they had Josh Johnson. He had to work with all of those guys. Was
And
he
what year was
successful?
this?
No. And this was
22.
under 2021, 2022. And there weren't a lot of pieces around him. They did get Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson his second year. He led Wilson to 1,000 yards receiving as a rookie, but he wasn't set up in a successful situation with the Jets.
and
as
that
a
was
play caller.
5
Was
years
he
ago.
great?
Now
No,
we
but that's
gotta,
stuff to
we
work
got to
with.
bring these guys up
No.
into the greatest situations and make them
No.
successful, and they get all the credit.
I'm not
But
saying
then,
that, but
come
you've
on,
got to
what do
take
you
that
do
into
with
account.
nothing?
You got to take that
Since
into
then,
account.
though,
Yeah.
he's got to go coach with Shanahan for 4 years.
So he learned
got
a
to go-
whole lot more.
Yeah,
No,
bro, that's what you do.
After.
Man,
He went to McVay.
you went to McVay. You went to McVay for
the last
2 years.
3.
Like, bro, you go, you learn, you get better, bro. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that.
You do. I'm not
So-
saying you don't learn and get better, but
Okay, so obviously you guys disagree. I haven't gotten a letter grade though.
I gave it a B.
Okay.
I'm giving
I
it a B.
gave it a B, too.
Yeah,
A
I gave it
B?
If you come in with that Shanahan McVay system, I'm giving it a B.
I'll
Because
say
it's
this.
dominating
That's
the
all it
motherfucking
takes?
league. Yes,
That's all it
because it's
takes.
dominating
I
the league
guess.
right now.
It's a mute point, though, if they don't, and you made a good point. It's a mute point if they don't figure out the quarterback situation. What benefits them, though, and it's unique with some of these quarterbacks to get long-term deals, Kyler does have a tradable contract. So if they trade him, they won't lose cap space. They'll actually gain $35 million in cap space if they trade him before June 1st. So that could help them in the free
Where's
agency
he
market.
gonna go?
I think Kyler absolutely will still get some looks as a quarterback in this league. I think he's done enough to
Shit, he
get
might
another
want
shot.
Kyler.
He might, but I
might want
anticipate them. He might, but I think they would potentially move on and then maybe try to find someone in free agency.
But
If
he's
it
been
doesn't
difficult
work,
to work with,
next
and
year's draft, it looks really nice too.
Hey.
Not this upcoming one, but next year for
Guys
quarterbacks.
get older and they mature, man. Some guys are difficult to work with, year 1 through 4, and then they learn, bro. The shit get important to them, and they,
Maybe if their
stop
job's on the line.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hey, man.
I
Skip,
see.
are you gonna break?
the
Are you
tie.
gonna break the tie, or are you gonna join it here?
Once again, I'm with TJ.
Ooh.
I'm giving
Yeah.
I'm
We
giving
got a
it
split
Phil
couch
Skip is what we talking about out
today.
here.
I'm going C, and he should want Kyler. Or Kyler's going to go somewhere and do a Sam Darnold back on Arizona.
He could.
That's
Yep.
what's.
I think he could.
Kyler can play. Kingsbury got the best out of him. Kyler's been video game crazy for I think he'll grow up now. He's had a year away, and Gannon had to deal with Jacoby Brissett, who's not bad. And by the way, they came to Dallas on a Monday night, and the defense shut Dallas down, which shocked me because Dallas's offense only scored 10 on their defense, and then Jonathan Gannon gets fired. But it's another TBD on Matt LaFluer Mike LaFleur, just because he's 8 years younger than Matt. So that's what he's going. So he's got the bloodline to his brother. Does that really count for much? I don't know. At least his brother can help him out and tell him the do's and don'ts. But, I get the tree, I get all that. But the last 3 years, he just sitting in meetings listening to.
How we know that though?
Okay, but he's not
Like, we
calling
don't
any
know.
plays.
You don't gotta call it. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe Sean say shit. Hey, Mike. So what you would be thinking right here? Shit.
Yeah.
All right, man. I like that. Like maybe he.
You
maybe,
definitely know
that
Sean's
ain't
not
enough.
gonna
That ain't
deal with the
enough.
most
know.
mediocre coach.
Mike,
That ain't enough.
That ain't enough.
And this
That ain't
does happen
enough.
inside organizations. They say, hey, Mike, you run the red zone this week. You're responsible for the red zone cut-ups, for the red zone game plan. You give the other coach maybe some of the third down stuff,
Maybe.
and then they all
No
collaborate.
wonder why
So
they
you are
couldn't
involved
score in
with
the
that.
red zone.
Huh?
No wonder why they couldn't get touchdowns in
I'm
the
not
red
saying
zone.
he was
Kick
involved
a
in
field
the red
goal
zone,
because Mike
but
did the red zone
That's what
planning.
they do is that they'll split it up with some of these coaches and give them
but-
bigger roles. And then Sean has the final say.
I don't know how anybody under Sean McVay would ever deserve the title of offensive coordinator. That's a joke to me. Because
yeah.
Sean is the be-all and the end-all of the offense, right?
But Sean also wouldn't allow just mediocrity next to him. Like he brought him on.
I
for a
guarantee
reason,
you,
right?
if I go to the Rams for 2 years and I get to sit in there and learn, damn, what that shit Robert Saleh was talking about. Okay, when they get to the block it like that. Okay, hell yeah.
Okay.
Let me learn the system, bro. I'm gonna go dominate somebody offense. Like I'm a sponge. I love this shit. I'm gonna put the time in.
Okay, you.
So
then
why
talk about you.
Mike LaFluer over 120 other guys that done did the system too?
Who?
Yeah, I mean, they ain't the only ones that run the system.
If I'm gonna pick somebody from the system, let me take who's the best right now. Shit, the Rams. Who they OC? Give me him. Who I want the guy who worked right up under
Seems
McVay,
real convenient.
or right up under Kyle Shanahan.
This seemed real convenient to me. I'm just saying.
What would you like to see? Players?
Like, you know what I like to see?
a
Consistency
former player,
and track
right?
record.
A former player
It
or a
don't gotta be a
65-year-old
it don't
nigga
gotta
who's been
be
doing
a,
it for 30 years.
Maybe.
Like,
50s.
To your point, though, Skip, I get what you're saying, but it's the NFL. Titles matter. That's what those mainly are too. Like title, assistant head coach.
I love the
offensive
new
coordinator,
title
even
that
if you're
they've
not calling
invented.
plays,
They
those
call
matter.
it, you're the pass game coordinator.
Yeah, I feel like I see
What?
that everywhere.
It's just
Pass
the
game
way-
coordinator.
how's that new though? Like,
It's-
shit.
What does
It's
the
a
pass
title
game
thing.
coordinator do?
He coordinate the pass game.
Yeah, there you go.
He
I don't worry about the run.
For the scout
I go
team.
straight pass game. I go straight pass game. What do you need running?
I doubt they're doing that though. You think they're really? No, they're not doing
Okay.
that.
You break down the
Wait,
pass
wait,
game.
Sean McVay,
Why is it
team
so hard to understand? Like, this is 2026, bro. This shit getting hard. It's hard to do the run and the pass. Like, let somebody just focus on straight pass. Let somebody lock in on exactly what we in, bub, on defense.
No, I
First
know
down,
what they
second
do.
down, third down, red zone. You just do straight pass game. Are they gonna cover it like this? Look at the little nuances. Shit. If leave outside leverage, they probably in cover 8. You know what I'm saying? If Bub at 8, he probably coming down. If he at 10, it's probably they cover 8. Like, let me just lock in on just the pass game and shit.
All
It's
right.
gonna give you a little bit of edge.
I like that.
I
Why
respect
that's hard to believe?
the position of the pass game coordinator and all that because it's needed.
Okay,
like.
so if you own and operate the Arizona Cardinals right now, you feel dead solid sure that you made the best choice you could make for head coach.
I mean, I'm good with it. It's like you said, it's a lot that we don't know. But if I bring in Todd Monken, do I know he's going to lead this building?
Yeah.
Do I know that?
Well, at least he was the head.
How do I know that? Because he's 65?
He done it with the Ravens. He done it with Tampa Bay.
He ain't leading no
done it
building with the Ravens. He was the coffee guy.
No,
Okay.
how
What
you
you, because Harbaugh led this shit. What the fuck was he
He led
leading?
the whole offense.
No, he
Monken, what you think? Shut the
quotes-
fuck up.
You got quotes of Lamar Jackson saying how great Monken was for him.
So Harbaugh ain't run that building?
Then he's
Yeah,
the head coach. Of course, he's supposed to run the whole
Okay.
building.
So what? So what
but
we
he
talking
ran
about?
the offense. Monken ran the offense.
But at least Monken was the head coach at Southern Miss, and they got him to a bowl game.
He turned
and
him
all-
around. Yeah,
Okay,
he
he
did.
did that.
Georgia ain't won no natty since he
It's a
left.
whole lot of coaches.
I'm
Aaron
just
Glenn
saying.
come in. Do we know he got a damn good defense over here? Do we know if he can run the building?
No.
No, we don't know it. So it's a whole lot of coaches. Schottenheimer, do we know if he can run the building? Do we know if Schotty can run the building?
Heck no. I
Fuck
still
no.
don't. I'm
We
still
don't know if Schotty
doubtful
can run the
about it.
building. Every time you hire a nigga, you don't know if he can run the
Yeah,
building.
it's
or
always
not.
a risk. It's
And
always a
It's
risk.
always a risk. What's
It's
the
just like when you-
risk?
It's just like when you
It's
when
a
you draft,
calculated
you
risk.
don't know.
And
Man,
my
you don't never know
calculations,
shit.
You don't ever know.
Man, if
in
I,
my
Like
calculations,
drafting a quarterback. You never
You
know
don't
what's
never
gonna
know
hit.
nothing
You
about
never know.
quarterback.
You can do all the
calculating, if
stats.
I'm calculating, I'm
Yeah.
looking at the last 3 or 4 offensive coordinators for Sean McVay, and
Right.
them being successful. So I'm saying, hey, maybe we might
feel
not
me?
get the next guy. So
Let me do what he
that's
doing.
the calculation I think
I
they're
feel
playing.
The
Liam
boys
Cohen
are
is
divided.
great.
I didn't
He
get your
did it.
grade though.
On Mike C.
Yeah.
C. Okay, so yeah, okay, 2
Yeah.
C's, but you had a C minus.
yeah, C minus.
You might well give him a D.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Yeah. By the way, Michael Bidwell, who now runs the Cardinals in place of his father, says that he expects a turnaround in the first year, not the second. So good luck to Mike LaFluer.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
Especially
Yeah.
when you don't even know your quarterback situation right now.
Yeah. Well, you have one if you
You got 2 for real.
can redevelop. You do.
You the bridge.
I mean, Jacoby Brissett's not bad. No.
Yeah.
It ain't bad.
And that's a good point. Maybe they don't want to spend money if they do trade Kyler, keep Jacoby, and then the 2027 draft class.
Yeah.
There's some talent there at the
But
quarterback
he said he
spot.
wants to turn
telling
around
you, man.
this
They
got it.
year.
They got it.
No, I don't
They
know
got
if Kobe
the number
Brissett's
one
gonna turn it
receiver.
around.
This
So if they
system
can
gonna
figure a
make
way
your
to give
quarterback
him the
better.
ball,
Period.
They'll be all right.
This system
You know
gonna
what
make
I'm
your
saying?
quarterback better.
What's
Telling you
the
that.
young bull from Ohio State?
Who, quarterback? Julian-
Receiver.
Oh, Connor
Oh,
Tate.
Cardinal.
No, not.
Oh, Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
Jeremiah
no,
Smith.
That's there right now. What's the name, son?
Oh yeah,
Jeremiah Smith.
Marvin Harris Jr. So
Yeah.
get him the rock.
They got Trey McBride, too, at tight end.
Yeah, but
Marvin Harris Jr. is a dog.
They got some dogs.
All right, guys, let's talk about some offensive coordinator hiring, okay? Because after parting ways with John Harbaugh, the Ravens' new head coaching staff is starting to take place. And after hiring Jesse Minter, they have now found Lamar Jackson's new offensive coordinator, and it's going to be the Bears' offensive coordinator, Declan Doyle, okay? So after leaving Ben Johnson, Doyle made the lateral move because he now has a responsibility of calling plays. So he's truly going to be running this Ravens offense, going to be a bigger step. So, Cody, do you give the Declan Doyle...
Let me guess, you gave it a C-.
Stop.
You gonna hate me.
Let me guess.
These boys are fine.
Let me guess, Skip, you gave it a C2, right?
Heck
Because he
no.
ain't got no track record.
I will say, this
I
man
need
is the
some
same
consistency.
age as Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
The exact same age,
I'm about to
okay?
talk about that.
So, I mean,
Go
give
ahead.
it a letter grade.
I gave it a B-. I'm going to be optimistic. I was flirting with B-.
For you, that's like an F.
He like fail.
B- is good.
I'll begin with a B.
B-, get him out. No, I gave him a B-. All right, let me bump it up. You can bump it up to a B, Skip.
Nah, keep that money.
No,
bro.
come on.
Well, I was
Be hard on some people, Cody.
I was gonna give him a C+.
Yeah, I see. That's
B-.
more like it, Cody.
But the main reason is because of, like Kinsey mentioned, the age. I think that plays a factor. But I'll talk about it in a second. The reason that I bumped it up to a B-, which is, like you said, not great for me, but because the last 3 years he's been under Ben Johnson and Sean Payton, so he's learned from those guys. Also, you're giving him an offense that has a lot of weapons, so it's going to make his life and his job a lot easier. But the reason that I was flirting with the C+ is because of the inexperience, and the big reason is the age. He's 29 years old, which is the same age as Lamar Jackson. He's also younger than DeAndre Hopkins, than Derrick Henry, than Patrick Ricard, than Ronnie Stanley, than Mark Andrews. He's younger than all those guys. Now, I know age doesn't determine how well you can call an offense, and we've seen some young play callers have success in the past, most notably Sean McVay called plays at 29 years old with Washington. Shanahan called plays at 29 years old as well. So they've had some success early on, but with this hire for me, take out the age, it's more so the lack of experience. That's where it concerns me a little bit because he made the jump to the NFL with the Saints, was there for a couple years, then he gets a position job with Denver for 2 years, goes as an OC, but we know Ben Johnson's calling plays, and now all of a sudden you're a first-time play caller with a team, in my opinion, that has a win-now roster and is in their Super Bowl window. So it is a huge risk to make that hire with a rookie head coach as well. So
I'm giving it a C, actually.
Nah, I'm giving it a B-. This is why I'm giving it a B-. So let me get to the positives, is he does come, assuming he's going to run this scheme, from Ben Johnson's system. So I anticipate this offense still having a lot of success. You're going to see creativity in the run game. You're going to see creativity in play action, which is going to be great for Lamar and Derrick Henry. You're going to see a lot of 2 tight end sets like Chicago did, which will work for Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. We know how Lamar likes to get them the football. And we're also going to see an offensive coordinator that I hope carries over what Ben Johnson had in Chicago as being a fearless play caller. I'm going to take shots down the field. I'm going to put the ball in Lamar's hand, and I'm going to trust him to make me right. I might call a deep over and a deep post. If it's not there, I'm going to trust you to check it down or take off and run. That's what they did with Caleb this year, and we saw him grow throughout the season. So, yeah, there is a lot of risk involved, and I guess B- is a bad grade for me. Normally, I give him a little bit higher, but it's because of the lack of experience. But I'm going to wait and see how he does at least his first season with the Ravens.
B-. Okay, lead.
I'm just flabbergasted by the inexperienced thing. Like, it was a day where Skip was inexperienced, right? He came in, he fucking flourished. Like, it's possible. Bub, you got drafted. Did you start your rookie year? Did you play good? Was you successful? Hey, you have
I was a high draft pick. They better be successful.
I mean, but I'm saying you ain't had no. Well,
I've been playing football since I was 8, though.
All right, so
like, you know what I mean?
All right, so Oregon.
Yeah.
So Oregon, when you got to Oregon,
But not at that level.
Was you a high?
No,
ranked out of high school?
I walked on.
All right, you walked on. So when you played, was you successful? Yes,
when I
you
got
were.
through my injuries and got through camp and then played special teams first, earned it on special teams. Then I got an opportunity to start, had a great year my junior year. I earned all my shit.
All right, well, me, I came out of high school. I probably was a 2-star, 3-star. I got to Kansas. I was fucking great.
Yeah, you got
no
on the
experience.
field.
I was immediately like this. I'm strapping
when you
all
first got there, they had you starting, or did you practice to earn your starting spot?
Well, I caught a burglary of a habitation charge, so I had the red shirt. You feel me? Once I got through the bullshit, I actually got on the field, and I was starting immediately. Yes, I was.
My main point, though, in that whole thing with the difference between LaFluer
Like, what we talking about?
and Doyle, though, is LaFluer. The Cardinals can take a risk right now. They're desperate. The Ravens are in their Super Bowl window. This is a little bit more of a risk for them instead of getting an established play caller.
I mean, listen, establish. We don't know if a guy got that swag or if he don't got that swag.
You're right.
Sometimes you bring in a play caller who had the swag over there. He come and he don't got the swag with you.
Yeah.
So I'm all about the system, bro. Who have you learned from? All right, it's time for you. Let's put you in, bro. It's the league. Let's go, bro. Get your shot. Take advantage of it or you don't take advantage of it. He coming from a great system. He learned from Peyton. He learned from Ben Johnson. Bro, it's going to be easy for him to get that team to buy in. You know why? Because the Bears was fucking cold. When you come in like, all right, look, we going to run that Bears shit. I bet all them niggas be like, yeah, let's go. Teach us that because they was cold. We going to buy into that real fast.
Until it doesn't work.
All right, and if it don't work, it don't work. It don't matter if I'm 65 with a long history. If it don't work, they going to do the same things. I done been with Sean, the same age as him, Whitworth older than him. Like, bro, what he doing working, so we with it. And if it don't work, hey, it's going to go left. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter what your track record is.
And that window for them closes. That's why it's a big, it has to work. It can't not work. You've got Lamar in his prime. You've got Derrick Henry. You've got guys on this roster that
you better have a shift.
Every time you hire somebody, you think it has to work. This got to work. That's like, who hires somebody like, this don't work. I don't really give a fuck. Yeah, but it don't work like that, bro. We're pros. We always want to win now.
Agreed.
Everybody window is win now. What the Cardinals owners say, we want to win now. We expect to win this year, right?
You do.
That's everybody, bro. Nobody don't go to the league. I ain't get drafted by the Bucs and say, I got 2-3 years to just chill and then I'll be good. Like, no, motherfucker, I'm trying to go right now.
Well, give me somebody that has won, so I know I have the ability to win right now. You throwing these guys in, ain't done nothing, or they track record say they not good.
A whole bunch of niggas. Chris Harris Jr. was a free agent.
Situation.
They throwing him in.
You gotta be in the perfect situation to win. And why? What gives you that opportunity to get in the perfect situation to win? What have you done? Like, why you keep with this motherfucker played baseball. He got a baseball background at a junior college. Played 2 years.
Webb just caught on the players.
I'm gonna keep it a
He just want all the players to get on the job.
All the players, bro. It's like, come on, bro. You spent 1 year with the Saints, a tight ends coach. You get under Buddy in Chicago, and now you a head OC at 29 years old. You was playing baseball 6 years ago. I played football since I was 8 years old. Some of these guys been playing football their whole lives. You feel me? So why are you special, Declan Doyle, to where you have one time over here under this coach, another year under this coach, and now you the head OC? What makes you so special?
He put the time in.
What time? What time?
You just said it.
1 year at the Saints, 2 years as a tight end coach. The next year he the OC after being a tight end coach.
That's 4 years.
Come on, man.
Putting the time in under good sensei.
Get out of here.
Bro.
Nah,
that's under good sensei.
Nah.
You put somebody with me.
What makes Doyle so
you put a corner with me for 4 years. I bet you he's ready to start for anybody in the National Football League.
And you didn't call plays.
Put a corner under me for 3 years. I don't give a fuck if he played baseball career. That motherfucker be ready to play corner for whoever.
Pro Bowl, Super Bowl champ.
And I'm a
That's
sensei.
not Declan Doyle. He was playing baseball.
Give him to me for 3 years.
Western Community College.
I don't give a fuck where he came from.
I'm just saying.
You give me any corner in college.
You can't tell me.
Give him to me for 3 years. He's gonna be ready to start for whoever.
You just playing shortstop. How you gonna tell me how to play safety?
So what grade did you end at?
A B.
A B.
I thought you were going to give him an A.
A nice B.
All that arguing for a B.
Y'all like a B is low. A B is good. Like, damn.
Apparently a B minus for me is
That's for you.
Something great.
That's for you. A B is good. My B is like an 87.
TJ, you clearly feel different. You gave it a D.
Oh.
For doesn't pass. We learned that around here.
Do not disrupt me when I'm working, because this is crazy.
Skip, come on. Now your turn.
75-year-old head coaches and 50-year-old coordinators.
Give me somebody.
And they cannot have played baseball.
And they got to play football, too. They got to be former players.
Hey, I'm just saying, baseball, look, I ain't finna go to baseball and tell somebody how to catch a center field ball.
Catch a what? Yeah, ball.
He literally, he's
That's
like,
how he probably sounding in the locker room talking like, bro, what is you talking about?
Center field ball.
That's how he got the job, huh?
Who knows?
Man, he young. He gonna vibe with Lamar. He gonna vibe with that offensive room. He gonna have that shit popping. Why?
Just because you young don't mean you gonna vibe with somebody.
So to your question, just for the record, the Dallas Morning News in your hometown, where you were growing up, hired me to be its lead sports columnist when I was 25 years old. And to quote you, I was fucking great.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Let's go, Skip.
Did you have any?
I bet.
You can't. They didn't know, right? They didn't know you was going to be great. Took a chance.
They did
and you
not.
fucking skip Bayless. So shit.
But not everybody skip Bayless now, man.
It happens.
Okay. once again, I don't know how we're on this because I wrote it down, so I'm not looking at your notes. But I'm going D for Declan and D for Doyle. That's what it is. D.
Double D.
Yeah,
Double
D's.
Hey,
Usually that's a good thing.
I was just blindsided by this one. I'm like, what? You
Tell me
just
about it.
hired for Lamar Bleepin Jackson, a guy his age who has never called a play in the National Football League. And you got a new young head coach, defensive oriented, and he fell completely apart with the former head coach who was pretty decorated and with the former OC who you like at Cleveland now. Lamar fell all apart with them, and I'm thinking, how can he respect really either one of these guys?
because they 70.
Okay.
He
All right.
young shit.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but
Vibing this motherfucker up, man.
where does it say that the student will be the teacher? You know,
Don't.
like that's what you keep telling me. They learn from, but they did what? They did what?
Nothing.
So his
New
year
regime.
under Ben Johnson, it's just like having a year under Sean McVay. You're going to do next to nothing. You're going to listen a whole lot.
Like
Because-
Liam Cohen.
Okay, all right, but every once in a while it clicks, and a whole. I read you that long list. There are a bunch of non-clicks. So to TJ's point, so this kid, and I'm going to call him a kid, he starts out playing baseball at Iowa Western, wherever that is, Iowa Western, and he gets a job at the University of Iowa with the football program only because his father was the strength and conditioning coach. So he goes there as just some kind of gopher assistant, at the program for 3 years. And then this is a point in his favor. Your man Sean Payton said, I like your style, kid. Come be my gopher in New Orleans. So he goes to New Orleans for a while. And then he goes with Sean back to Denver. He actually stayed with Dennis Allen in New Orleans for a couple of years when Dennis took over.
4, I think,
But
right?
I think was it 4? I wrote down 2 seasons, but whatever. Then he
Okay.
goes with Sean.
Gotcha. 2.
And he becomes the tight end coach for a couple of years, and then he spends the year as an apprentice, like an understudy with Ben.
Coffee guy, right, bud?
I don't
He was the coffee guy, right?
Who? Declan?
Yeah.
Doyle?
For Ben Johnson, he was the coffee guy, right?
He damn sure wasn't calling no plays. I mean, let me say the coffee guy, but go ahead.
Yeah, I look. It's just like bolt out of the blue, and I don't know how much Lamar had to do with it. But after what I saw Bisciotti say in his press conference, we said, "I have the power. I want Lamar in on the interviews." I don't think Lamar had any final say in either the choice for head coach or offensive coordinator, and if he didn't, that's a huge mistake.
Can I throw out a theory, though, about that? I'm curious, and I could be completely wrong, if Lamar did have a say in this. And he said, I don't mind a 29-year-old first-time offensive coordinator because now it's a collaboration, a dictatorship. Now I can maybe be a little bit more involved with the game planning and have more control, not only at the line of scrimmage, but now in the meetings. And we can work together to put together a game plan. And Todd Monken was a great OC, but he's 59 years old, so he was in charge. This is his offense. Now you bring in a younger guy. Maybe Lamar likes that, so it's more of a collaboration, and he has more say.
I don't know, maybe Lamar-
That's a fair take. I like that.
That's a great theory. I think that's right.
Okay,
And
maybe Lamar can call his own plays.
Nah, with
right?
the guy, he don't got to call his own plays.
to an
'Cause I'm
extent.
collabing with a guy who had the fucking top 2-3 offense in the league.
Yeah.
Let me get him. Let me collab with him, and then let's go from there, bro.
Yeah.
So
Because I know Lamar knows what Derek does well. He knows what these other guys, Zay Flowers, I know how to get the most out of him. Mark Andrews, you bring in a guy that comes from the Ben Johnson scheme. I like a lot of shit they do too. Now let's put it together and make it a collaboration.
By the way,
Lamar did
Derrick
have a say.
Henry not toting the ball.
He was,
His fine
but-
last year.
but
So
now
what,
they
the
can-
the
but Monken's
Johnson
gone.
scheme gonna come in and make him that much greater?
No,
he
but
gonna
what they-
make it still good.
Yeah, but
Or
they
maybe
build
a
off of
healthy
it's a
Lamar
collaboration.
Jackson would have been more successful just in general.
What I'm saying is a collaboration. They build off of that. They build off of what they've done well and also add in some stuff that they've done in Chicago to make it.
Okay, so now he
a
comes
great product.
in and they have a decent offense. So he did all that on it by him being the offense.
Nah,
coordinator.
No, that's what I'm
like,
saying.
this shit.
I mean, we ain't saying
Well, I
he did it.
mean, like, what are you going to add? What are you bringing?
It's explosive rosters out there who just ain't go 15 and damn 2, bub.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Cowboys. You feel me? That's an explosive roster.
putting
They
points
won,
up. It was
they
their
won 7
defense.
games.
They defense.
But they won 7 games. Like, it's explosive. It has been explosive rosters in the league throughout forever.
That didn't do what?
That just ain't put up a bunch of buckets. You know what I'm saying? It's out there, bro.
I don't know about that.
I mean, the Falcons, was they just a very explosive? Like, what the fuck they do?
They did when they got an experienced quarterback in there. They was lighting motherfuckers up at the end of the season. Were they not?
How many games did they win?
Eight.
Bro, that ain't
That
explosive
won the
to me.
division too.
That ain't explosive.
Did it tie.
Well, that 8 wins, that's not explosive to me.
Well, we
I
are
don't know.
directly divided just down the couch right now with the boys. So we got the
Yeah,
double
it's the
D's
colors,
over
man.
here,
I
the
think
bull,
it's the color vibes.
the B,
Me and Cody came ready for water.
I know, you guys are all matching.
We came ready for war today, goddammit.
The energy is high. I love it. But okay, the chat's going with the C. So they're in between you guys. They listen to all sides over here. We're influenced. But I'm going to interrupt the rundown a little bit because, as expected, Davis Webb was now named the Broncos offensive coordinator. So I know we were joking about a pass game coordinator. So do you trust a pass game coordinator taking over the offense?
Well, he played the role of the coffee guy, right? But so now he's officially the coffee guy for Sean Payton
He going
now.
to get Sean Binder when he left it downstairs.
It's a great play.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be directly under Sean. He's going to play a major role in preparing for these games. And before you know it, Bub going to be giving them a C. As a head coach. Bub going to be giving them a C.
I'm really interested about
he's going to be a head coach like this.
You know, I don't know too much about him just off the top, but you know, Sean's still gonna be calling the plays.
He is.
At the end of the day, Sean's gonna be. So he may have some input, and probably next year, the way the cycle's going, he's gonna be a head coach. Keep it at this rate. If you can be assistant OC to the head coach, you too can be a head coach.
You can.
What grade are you giving it, though? How do you feel about it? You like it?
I feel great about it. You know what I'm saying? I feel great. He's if people want him, he was the quarterback coach and people trying to snatch him up.
Yeah.
So
It's
true.
Yeah, apparently he's really mentoring Bo Nix. Yeah.
Well, they just fired the offensive
Lombardi,
coordinator.
Yeah.
So they can keep him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he must be doing something with that pass game. He must be doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I like it, man. I give it a nice B+.
B+.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. I give it a B+. I just, the main point is he's not going to be calling the plays.
Yeah,
If they were bringing in an actual play caller, I still would probably stay in that B+, A- range because you're keeping someone who's obviously had success with Bo Nix that knows the system and would allow Sean Payton, if he did give up play calling duties, to worry about the rest of the team and still trust Davis Webb. But yeah, Sean Payton's calling plays. I like them staying within, obviously the organization and someone that Bo feels comfortable with. So yeah, I'll give it an A- actually. Well, A-.
I'm gonna give it an A.
Yeah.
There you go.
Seriously,
You
because
guys are agreeing.
he's been there and he did all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he really helped Bo because Davis Webb played at a pretty high level.
Yeah.
And I give him, I boost stock because of that. I think that's why the last guy's out the door, and he wasn't fired because he failed, because he wasn't doing much anyway. But Davis Webb can do something Sean can't do. He can be the go-between between Sean and remember, Sean said some things the other day that Bo didn't like. Bo called his press conference, but Davis Webb will be on Bo's side.
Yeah.
And he's good for Bo. And I think I'm going to give him considerable credit for Bo's success. Bo had a breakout year. Not statistically, but in impact, that was breakout.
That was good too, though.
They were okay, but QBR not so good. I think he was 19th in QBR.
That's the new stat, the regular stats.
All right, the regular.
But I am hearing some positive tones around Bo Nix with Skip, which is huge.
Well, I mean, I just say what I see.
Finally, right?
Okay? I saw him play a game, man. That was a game. And I saw a football tragedy happen, and I feel for the kid because he might still be playing right now. We might still be on the way to see your Broncos in the Super Bowl, right?
That would have fucked you up, huh?
They would have.
I give it a B+.
I probably would have exited. I wouldn't even gone, right? I wouldn't have gone to the Super Bowl. You could have gone.
Yeah, I would have took the flight, Dolo.
Yeah.
All right, TJ, you give
Yeah,
it
I
a B+.
give it a B+, man. He played the game. Like Lee said, I love a player that played the game. He's done
all
a
it
great
takes
job.
for you.
And not all it takes, but it helps. It's part of that resume. He's been in the building. The proof is in the pudding. Both improved the last 2 years. Had an amazing season this year. Sean Payton still gets to run the offense, but like Skip said, there's going to be a little degrees of separation between Bo and Sean. So I like it, man. Davis Webb went to Cal Berkeley, Texas Tech. played in the league for a little bit. I like it.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, then let's move on to a guy that actually will be calling the plays. So the Eagles' offensive coordinator job has been very volatile. So Nick Sirianni became head coach. So you either get fired or you get a head coaching job. So I kind of want to look at that because it's a weird. We got Shane. He went as a head coach to the Colts. Then we had Brian Johnson fired. Then Kellen Moore hired as Saints head coach, and then Kevin Patullo fired. So out goes Kevin Patullo, and in comes Sean Mannion. So how do you say that one? Mannion?
Mannion.
Yeah, Mannion. The 33-year-old has only been in the NFL for 2 years as a coach, spending the past 2 with the Packers. He's getting a big opportunity to call plays for an offense that has Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, and maybe A.J. Brown. We all know that's a question mark. So, Cody, what do you say about this hire?
Yeah, this was an interesting hire. This is another one. This is kind of in line with the Declan Doyle hire. It tells me a couple things, though. The first is that he absolutely crushed the interview process, because when you become a first-time play caller, first-time offensive coordinator, there's no stats and film to go off of, so you've got to be great in those interviews, and obviously he handled those well. The second thing it tells me is that the Eagles see a lot of potential with his future, not only as a coach in this league, but as a play caller in this league. I actually played against Sean Mannion a couple times back in college. He was a really good college quarterback, got drafted in 2015 in the 3rd round, spent a couple years as a backup in the league, bounced around a little bit, and then recently became a coach just 2 years ago. But during his time as a player and a coach, he sat in quarterback rooms and offensive meetings with Sean McVay and Shanahan and Matt LaFluer and Gary Kubiak and Klint Kubiak and Grant Udinsky and Dave Canales and all these different guys that he's learned from. And I can tell you from experience, as a backup quarterback, you don't get a ton of physical reps. So your practices become those meetings, really. You're in there taking notes, learning everything you can from the quarterback coach, from the offensive coordinator, from the head coach, whatever it may be. And I promise you, Sean has kept all of those notes, so now he can apply that to the offensive scheme that he's going to run. The next thing that it tells me is that the Eagles loved in those interviews the plan that he has for this offense. Now, I don't know what his offense is going to look like, but I would assume it comes from the Shanahan, McVay type of tree, and he's going to run that same scheme, which tells me a lot of pre-snap shifts and motions, creativity in the run game, really good play action scheme. Also, a very quarterback-friendly system that's going to help Jalen Hurts get into a rhythm early in these games and give you wide open receivers with the route concept. So those are all things that I would love for the Eagles to start doing. My biggest question, though, is are they going to allow him as a first-time play caller and a young coach and a new coach to come in and put in his entire scheme and incorporate his own things, or is he going to have to build off of what they've already been doing under Nick Sirianni the last couple of seasons? So I hope it is the former. I hope they give him an opportunity to come in and put in that McVay, that Shanahan type of scheme. But yeah, it's an interesting hire. I like Sean a lot, though, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a very good player. Had some good battles against him in college, but we'll see. This is a tough.
You win?
I won both, Skip.
You won them?
I won both.
Humble guy, come on.
We went to Corvallis, actually, and broke the Corvallis curse my sophomore year.
Did you?
Yeah, he had a problem beating.
Yeah, he was a good player, though. Sean's
You go for
really
300?
The Beavers
I
in
threw
Oregon.
for, I don't remember the number, but I know the first play of the game, I threw about an 80-yarder to Marquise Lee for a touchdown. And that place went from loud to dead quiet. And I actually hit him with one of these, Skip.
Did you really?
I'm quiet on the couch, but I'll talk some
Did
shit
you know
on the
that
field.
Oregon, the SC couldn't win a game in the state of Oregon for like 4 or 5 years?
I remember that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I like it. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna wait before I judge it. I'm probably in the same grade range as Declan Doyle, so we'll see what
Are
happens.
you sure you don't like him just because you beat him?
No. All right, it's because he's good. Hey, for you to jump that quickly is a testament to your work ethic and what these coaches think of you. So I think that is very important.
Yeah.
Keem?
It tells me that the Eagles want to get with the program, man. I'm telling you this. I watch a lot of ball. You see guys running this system, and they successful, right? Your offense is struggling. Shit, why not get a guy who's going to run this system? He played for Sean for 2 years. He played under Kevin O'Connell. That's still the same system, same tree.
Yep.
Then he go coach for Mike LaFluer. Same system, same tree. You know what I'm saying? So I would assume that's the system that he's going to run. And they want to get that shit that Robert Saleh was talking about. They trying to get that in their building, man. They trying to get that run game going again. They trying to get these shot plays, these bangs, these quick passes off that play action. Use these 2 dogs they got on the outside. So, hey, man, you got to get with the program, man. If it's dominating the league, I want to do it too. Who can we get? Bug like players, right? hey, when he played in this shit, he did it for a long time. You know what I'm saying? He played under all the guys Cody just named. So he a player, he a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? I like it.
I watched Sean Mannion play college football for a long time, actually, because he was on the same team as my younger brother at Oregon State. So I definitely like him as a quarterback. He was, didn't have the biggest arm, but very cerebral.
Yeah.
Made plays, when, they were there. And didn't have the best offensive line around him, but, he's still able to get the ball out, very accurate. So I do like Sean Mannion as a quarterback. But we look at the Eagles and them not being able to be as successful they were in the Super Bowl year. Why was that exactly? I don't think it has much to do with what the plays were being called as much as it was to do with the players on the field. Their offensive line was hurt mostly all the season, is why they couldn't run the ball, and that's why the offense wasn't as successful. Saquon Barkley couldn't have those gaps that he usually had all season. The RPO didn't run as proficiently for that exact reason. So for Petula to get all the blame for that, I think is a little bit unfair. But nonetheless, I think, they get healthy on the offensive line. They still got A.J. Brown. Hurts going to do his thing. They find running lanes for Saquon. The offensive Philly is there to be successful. So I think he'll be, it's a good pick for them. I think he'll be successful. But, if he's not running, blocking, or throwing, and they not healthy, then they not gonna be successful.
Let me add to that. Like, all right, when you win a Super Bowl, bro, 31 teams is looking at you. Like, we got to stop that. We won a Super Bowl, right? Dominate on defense. Come back the next year.
Decimated, no quarterback.
Well, I'm just saying, we come back the next year, shit, Kyle Shanahan and the Falcons pull up on us, put us in slot all day. Stay in big people personnel, put us in slot all day. We got the safeties and the linebackers one side of the field. Matt Ryan like this. Shit.
We also lost D. Ware.
All right, I'm just saying, okay, yeah, but the next week, what you think the next team did? Me and Chris in slot all day. The next week, me and Chris in slot all day.
Yeah.
Now teams just trying to, okay, this is how we gonna beat this team.
Yeah.
We know how to get yards on them. Let's get them in slot and let's play. Y'all want to play this man? We gonna make the linebackers in this, like, you feel me? It's a copycat league.
Exactly.
You win the chip, you under that microscope. Every 31 teams gonna collaborate on how to stop you, and that's what they did with the Eagles. Like, they gonna learn how to stop this shit.
You don't think because they didn't have Lane Johnson?
Of course, injuries gonna happen, bro. Everybody got injuries.
Whole O-line is gone.
Everybody gonna have injuries. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the league gonna have injuries, but I feel like if you drop off like that, that's because people know the fronts that slow down that run game. People know the blitzes that slow down that run game. So they gonna slow it down, bro. You the champs. We gotta stop the champs. Everybody gonna collab to stop the champs. Period. So it's gonna slow down. You gotta switch that shit up.
Yeah. So I want to remind everybody that less than a year ago, in last year's Super Bowl, these Philadelphia Eagles led the Kansas City Chiefs 40-6 with 4 minutes left in the game. It was 40-6, 4-0 to 6 points. And yet, this job comes open because the guy that you led the criticism against, Kevin Petullo, is out, or he's demoted. He's still there.
Oh, no.
And all of a sudden, Mike McDaniel said, no thanks to this job. And Brian Daboll said no to this job. And I'm like, wait a second. Jalen Hurts is still there, and maybe to a fault, AJ is still there. And the offensive line is aging, but it's still, it could bounce back and be pretty to very good next year.
Agreed.
And yet they interviewed like 12 people, and it felt like they didn't like any of those candidates, and the 2 top candidates said no thank you to this job. It's a weird job because Nick Sirianni came as the offensive coordinator in Indy, right? He was an offensive coordinator, but he doesn't want to coordinate the offense. He just wants to oversee it, so he's not on the hot seat for it. And yet, by mid-season, a couple times he said, okay, I'm going to be more involved in the offense. So it's tricky because I think he's going into next year, Nick Sirianni, on some hot seat because they underachieved this year. I thought they were going to be better, and you know the rest of the story. And yet, this move, I actually weirdly like it just because he did play, and I watched him a lot at Oregon State, and I like to watch him operate the offense.
Yeah,
he gets it. He's one of those guys, you could just see he was born with a really nice feel for how to operate the offense.
Yeah.
Where the ball goes on time to who's open.
They had
And-
Wheaton and
Yeah, what's
Cooks.
that?
They had Wheaton and
That
Cooks.
Wheaton,
Yeah, they have Cooks.
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
Yep. And so he's only 33, but they need a fresh pair of eyes in there. And Patullo sort of got raised in the system. He'd been there for, what was it, like 6 years before,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So now you got fresh blood, fresh eyes, brand new perspective, and I kind of like it. And there's still potential. I love Jalen Hurts. I just think he makes big plays in big games. But you can't love the week to week, because he might throw for 99 yards and they still might win the game. He does whatever needs to get done. But if you need 400 from him, like in the 2 Super Bowls, he threw for big yardage and should have been could have been the MVP in both of them.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a lot to like there, and I just think Sean Mannion's an interesting, fresh perspective that they needed.
And
Yeah.
one more thing I'll add to. I don't think I said Shanahan. I think from the Shanahan tree. I don't think he was ever with Shanahan. But I also texted Jordan Love when I heard about this news, who's a friend of mine. We grew up together in Bakersfield. And I said, just give me a quick rundown on Sean Mannion. What do you think of him?
And how did you know him?
So Jordan played for my high school coach. I would come back from college and work with Jordan. Saw a lot of potential in him for high school. Only went to Utah State, was under-recruited, and then becomes who he became. So, yeah, I got to work with him in high school, and we've kept in touch. But I texted him, and this is what he said, and I want to quote it exactly. He said, Sean's a great dude, very smart and detail-oriented, easy guy to talk ball with, and obviously brings a lot of experience from his time as a player, which helped him in his QB coach role. But, yeah, I'm excited to see him in this new role. 2 things stuck out to me with that text. So the first one is that he's an easy guy to talk ball with, meaning that although you were a backup and didn't have a huge career, Jordan Love and Sean Mannion, they both can talk football on the same level, only his second year as a coach, which is important because we need to speak the same language and make sure we're on the same page. And I also need you to explain things to me and make it easy to understand. That's one thing he does. The other thing that stood out to me is that he said he's a very detail-oriented guy. That is so important at the quarterback position. There's so many minute details when you play that position that you have to go over, that you can't overlook. And the fact that Jordan recognized that from Sean with only spending a short amount of time with him, I think is so important. And it's not just a starter, it's also the backup. We saw what Malik Willis did when he came in. That's because Sean helped those guys to prepare. So I think Eagles fans should be excited about this. I know it's a younger coach, but yeah, I think that is important.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to some defensive coordinator talk, okay? Because Joe Brady finally hired his defensive coordinator this weekend, and the Bills have signed Jim Leonard to run their defense. Leonard was the defensive coordinator at Wisconsin from 2017 2022 and has been the pass game coordinator with the Broncos the past 2 seasons. And then we have the Cowboys. They have hired, obviously, pass game coordinator Christian Parker to be their defensive coordinator. So Parker has been with the Eagles for the past 2 seasons and was very highly regarded in the Eagles organization. So, Skip, when I'm putting those two head-to-head, who made the better defensive coordinator hire, the Bills or the Cowboys?
Man, I hate to say this, but I know Aqib's a fan of Jim Leonard. I'm a big fan. Rex Ryan loved him. My guy Dennis Thurman was the DC there, loved him. Coach on the field, knows the game, was the DC at his alma mater, Wisconsin, for 6 years, and they were very good.
Very good.
And he was Vance Joseph's sort of assistant DC as the pass game coordinator, whatever that means, with your Broncos. So he was my top choice. I mean, my top choice was Raheem Morris, who didn't get the Arizona job, obviously, and went with Kyle. And
Smart guy.
yeah, smart
man.
Yeah,
That's an A+ hire, by the way.
Yeah, right? I'm
That
like,
was A+.
God, I love being a Niner fan.
Yeah, well, you got a real one.
Right?
You got it. You know, you got the one. Brian Flores, Raheem, those are. I know Fangio's very good, but they're the top 3 guys. And so I was hoping Jerry'd maybe throw a lot of money at Raheem and try to say, come here and save us and fix this worst in the league defense and points allowed. And yet it comes down to Jim Leonard or Christian Parker, and I don't know what Jerry's thinking, because I don't hate Christian Parker at age 34, but he's basically been the DB coach in 2 good places, in Denver and Philly. But then what? I don't know. So now you're going to task him with fixing the unfixable defense? I don't get it. And Jim Leonard is a made man to me, where he comes in and brings credibility. The first meeting, if I'm sitting in your chair, I'm listening to Jim Leonard. And I'm not listening to Christian Parker. I just don't know, man. I'm not sure about it. it's a little bit of a reach for me, and another big X factor, maybe not. Jim Leonard is taking over. Remember, Sean McDermott ran the defense in Buffalo for years. So now they lost their head coach and their defensive coordinator, and Jim Leonard will fill that void. And he's the perfect match for Joe Brady on offense.
I'm with you, Skip.
Yeah.
I think Jim Leonard better hire. I honestly like Vance Joseph's system better than Vic's. Like, it's just more creative. It's more confusing to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Vic shit is just kind of standard.
It's meat and potatoes.
It's kind of just standard.
I
kind of give me some good players. I play
and
this.
they got good players.
And there's times where he didn't have good players, and the system just wasn't that good. Like when he was in Denver, it wasn't that good. Getting hit every week. Like Webb said, like when you don't got as good as players, where you at?
But Christian Parker was with Vance before. You think
he was with DB coach for 1 year, man? Listen,
that secondary
Jim Leonard,
was loaded.
I sat in the staff meeting with Sean them. Jim Leonard talking as much as Vance.
Really?
He asked a question, Jim Leonard, he answered this question. Vance said something, Jim Leonard said something. So that passing game coordinator role, he right there locked in with Vance. They game planning together. I guarantee you, he got his hand all in it. So I expect them to run that Vance Joseph system, put a little sauce to it, some of them zero blitzes type. B-flow type blitzes that he got from Rex. You know what I'm saying? Bill kind of in that world. I expect him to mix a little bit of that in. And man, he's just a respected guy, man. I'm telling you, he's square business guy.
Business.
You gonna respect him. He's like you say, one of them guys who played. And I just think that hire is better, man. He'll be more respected quicker than Parker would be for sure. So.
Yeah, I love it. I like the Jim Leonard hire a little bit more as well. Not only did he play the game, like Lee said, when you a pass game coordinator and a D coordinator, it works hand in hand. I know a lot. Joe Woods was doing the pass game coordinator for us, while Wade had the whole defensive coordination. But when them passing routes came and we had to handle all that, we was on point. So I know how much that goes into the coordination of the entire defense. You know, Jim did it on 2 levels with Wisconsin. They haven't been as good since he left. And with Denver, you know, what they've been, you know, he played the game. He's been in those seats. He knows how to communicate, articulate. You know, as players, there's certain things you can articulate to us that you don't have to spend an hour trying to go over. It's like, okay, you get it as a player, boop, 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 there it is, go run off with it. So I think Buffalo is a great landing spot for him. And then you got to look at Vance's defense. How do you overcome some of the holes you have in your defense? That's what you have to do as a coordinator too. Okay, I have a hole here. So we're going to run a defense like this and cater to this part of our defense so this doesn't get exposed. But at the same time, we have to stop what the offense does best. And I think Leonard understands that, you know, as much as anybody.
Yeah, I went with Jim Leonard too, but I do think Parker deserves a little bit more credit. He's done a really good job the last 2 years working with Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell in those DB rooms. He's helped develop young players. It's going to be a tough task in Dallas, but don't sleep on him just yet. Vic Fangio, Vance Joseph, he's learned from 2 very good coaches. Maybe he can come in right away. They have some pieces on defense, and he can get those guys up to speed. And same with Sean Mannion. Maybe they just needed a fresh voice inside of that facility. But I do like Jim Leonard. I think he has the edge with this. He's a 10-year NFL vet. 11 years as a coach, you know, and he had immediate success. He went to Wisconsin in 2016 as a DB coach, and then next year took over as a defensive coordinator. And for those next 6 seasons, they had a top 10 scoring defense. They were damn good under Leonard. Another thing that I think is important for the Bills, last year on defense, they were first in passing defense, but they were 28th in rushing defense. You bring over Jim Leonard, coming from Denver, you talk about these schemes that Van Joseph did. They were the number 2 run defense in the NFL, also at college. With Wisconsin, he had the number 1 run defense in 2021. They're only giving up 60 points per game, so he obviously knows how to stop the run. So I think that's important. But don't sleep on Parker. We'll see what he does. But Jim Leonard obviously has the experience over him.
All right, well, you pointed out something that I want to talk about because you pointed out on the show that 10 head coaches were hired in this cycle and none of them were black head coaches. So there was one minority head coach, and that was Robert Saleh, who is Lebanese, and he was the first Muslim head coach in the NFL history. So, however, there are only 3 black head coaches in the NFL right now: D'Amico Ryans with the Texans, Todd Boyles with the Bucks, and Aaron Glenn with the Jets. So, Aqib, 0 black head coaches hired with 10 vacancies. Your reaction to that?
I'm counting Robert Saleh. You with us, baby. Hey, you with us. You walk in the room, they gonna put you with us. You gonna get our treatment. You're a minority. Know that. But man, it's unfortunate to me. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely guys who out there who capable. We get less of an opportunity. It's just the world we live in, man. And when these guys do get opportunities, the leash is hella short. You know what I'm saying? The white coaches get a longer leash than us. Simple as that. So, I mean, I feel like we went through this shit with the quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Now the quarterbacks is probably half of the quarterbacks in the league. It's a bunch of black quarterbacks now. So, guys just got to keep on working, man. It is what the fuck it is. We outnumbered in the world, period. So, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Guys just got to keep working, keep their head down, keep working. Conversations like this going to keep on playing a part in it. But if guys keep working, man, keep showing what we can do, the coaches keep showing what they can do, it'll happen. It is what it is. So quarterback is a position of power. Head coach is a position of power. They're going to be, a little slower to give a black man a position of power job in them buildings. It is what it is. So just keep working, bro. It'll happen. It happened with the quarterbacks. It'll happen with the head coaches.
Yeah, I mean, there's only been a total of 6 black head coaches at one time in one season, any given season. That goes back to 2006, 2017, 2024. 6 is your max right now. So like Lee said, the opportunities aren't as quick to come to us, aren't as fast, and we definitely don't get as many opportunities to make mistakes. So whatever, not whatever that's for, it's just a reflection of your everyday working man in society, from the Fortune 500 companies to NASDAQ to Joe's Plumbing to Enterprise rental cars. The managers is going to be something else than the workers. And that's just how our society is. But I think the worst part about the thing with the NFL is that, most of the players are black, right? Mm-hmm. So we have the most experience. We've spent the most time on this game. And it's when we retire is where we don't qualify. Now you don't know as much. Now you can't handle a locker room as much. Now you're not as good as a leader. And that's the disappointing part about it. Because there is a lot of qualified guys out there. Skip brought up the offensive side of the ball. And it goes back to the old stereotype of the black quarterback. He doesn't think as well.
Yeah, that's right.
He's not, as prolific in breaking certain things down, and it's kind of leading to the offensive side of the ball now as far as coordinators go, where you see them just hopping ship, whether it's going to HBCUs or going to college in general, because you're getting passed up by your Declan Doyles.
Yep.
And guys like that who started playing baseball, and now they're in the league, and you look up and they're OC 5 years later. When you got guys like Ronald Curry, who dual threat quarterback at North Carolina, came into this league, coached Superman to MVP season as a quarterback coach. You would think that would be a clear path to an OC.
Agreed.
He's not.
Nope.
You got Eric Bieniemy, who he gets the image of being not a player's coach, or he's too tough on the players. Well, a lot of times these players need a tough coach. And he won in Kansas City. But he gets no credit. You get all the credit to Andy Reid. Andy Reid's a great coach, but he didn't do it on his own.
Yeah, it's funny because Andy got all the credit, but it wasn't like the student can be the teacher there, like you would think, given all these white guys getting
like
all
exactly
done, right?
So I mean, that's the biggest issue. Is it's not like it's not the same trajectory and it's not at the same pace.
No.
So,
but would you expect it to be? Like, these owners are 75 and 80-year-old white dudes. I'm not saying they racist, but I bet you their daddies was.
Yeah.
You feel me? I bet you their granddaddies was. Shit, I'm from the projects. That's what I know. My daddy from the project. I'm gonna think like him. Yeah. So it just is what it is, bro. It's part of the world. You feel me? It's how the damn world work, bro. It's don't cry about that shit or grind and keep working, bro. It's only one way to fix it.
I have campaigned for this cause for years and years and years, and I've never been more crushed than I was by this hiring cycle, because obviously Mike Tomlin stepped away, and we're pretty sure he'll step back into a good job at some point. So don't forget about Mike T. But Brian Flores badly wanted the Ravens job. I know it for a fact. And he deserved it and would have been great there, perfect there. And he's still the DC in Minnesota, great for Minnesota. Raheem did not deserve to be fired in Atlanta. They still tied for the division lead, and you go from Raheem to Kevin Stefanski. I'm like, what?
That short leash.
What? Stop it. And then I thought, well, surely Raheem will get the Arizona job. No, LaFleur's younger. The younger LaFleur gets it. Okay. And yet, what kills my heart is that I'm looking at the head coaches now who have jobs. D'Amico is doing just fine. He is thriving, and he is defense first, and he has built, to me, the best defense. I know you argued, but it's really good.
It is.
And it played really well at New England in a losing cause because the quarterback fell apart when I least expected it. But D'Amico's doing just great. And yet, Todd Bowles is barely hanging on. I was kind of surprised they kept him after they fell apart. And Aaron Glenn, I don't know how much longer. There have been all kinds of runaway speculation that John Gruden is next up there. And so you got two guys just barely hanging on. And so we have only one thriving black head coach left in the whole league, right? I don't get it. And Anthony Weaver got the DC job in Baltimore. Okay, so is he still in the pipeline? He got a bunch of interviews.
I mean, that's under mentor. If they got a good ass defense, then shit, he might be next. Vance might be next. So we might have something coming, man.
Maybe, but the truth is, it's gone backward. That's the truth. From the maximum high of 6 down to
3.
God. And
a half.
It's like 2.5, right? Yeah.
You with us, buddy?
Now, Aqib said something that stuck with me last week when we talked about this. He said it's important to keep having these conversations and putting guys on the map. So I want to do that right now.
I mean, that was the idea of the Rooney Rule.
Yeah, but there are guys that
that's bullshit, though.
There are guys that I want people to keep an eye on that I think offensively, you talk about the great defensive coaches, that I think offensively could come up the pipeline and should get opportunities in the near future. The first one's JT Barrett. I talked about him the other day. He's a quarterback coach with Chicago. I know Ben Johnson gets a ton of credit for what Caleb Williams did, but Barrett's the one in every single damn meeting working with Caleb, going over those small details. Another guy on that staff, Antoine Randall, is a wide receiver coach on that staff. I would hope that either one of those guys would now step up for Doyle, become the offensive coordinator. I know they won't call plays, but they'll be next in line to maybe go somewhere else to call plays or become head coaches. Another guy we talked about, Nate Shieldhouse. He is a very bright young coach. I hope he's another guy with LaFleur leaving that steps right into that offensive coordinator role for Sean McVay. Give him an opportunity to lead that offense. You won't call plays, but maybe you can run some meetings. Then he'll go call plays elsewhere or become a head coach. Another guy, Thomas Brown, is one guy that I think people should keep an eye on. He's with the Patriots right now. Now, he was an offensive coordinator with the Panthers in 2023, but that was a bad situation. Frank Reich got fired midway through the season. You got a rookie, Bryce Young. You don't have a lot of weapons around him, so it was tough. The next year, he goes and becomes a pass game coordinator for the Bears. Well, then they fire Waldron, the offensive coordinator, through the season, so he has to become the play caller with an offense that isn't his. Then they fire Eberflus, and then he becomes the interim head coach. So that's just a tough situation for him to be in. But now with New England, hopefully he gets another shot.
Wasn't he assistant head coach with the Rams winning the Super Bowl?
Was he? Yeah. Great. So I'm hoping that those are things that, those backgrounds, those are things that are important. These guys should be next in the pipeline. And one other guy, maybe I know him personally, that's why I'm going to throw him out there. He was my counselor at the Elite 11 back when I was in high school, is Gerard Johnson, who's the quarterback coach with the Texans. He doesn't get enough credit for what he did with C.J. Stroud in 2023, his rookie year. Being in that quarterback room, he did a really good job helping him develop. I know these last 2 years, C.J.'s been up and down, but in reality, he's thrown for over 10,000 yards, 65 touchdowns, and he's led his team to the playoffs 3 years in a row, and a big part of that is Gerard Johnson. So I like what Aqib said. It's important to have these conversations. And there's 22 offensive head coaches, so these are guys that
another guy,
I hope
T.
are in
Martin.
that pipeline.
Yeah.
T. Martin.
T. Martin, quarterback coach. You under Monkey. Everybody love Monkey,
Yeah,
right?
right.
It's his quarterback coach for the last 23, 24, 25.
T. Martin was my OC at USC too, and he is
Of all the
one of
guys
my favorite
you
all-time
just
coaches.
mentioned, I think only Nate Shieldhouse got an interview.
Yep.
Right?
That's it.
Well, that's why we're talking about it, Skip. Hopefully that'll
Yeah.
put them on notice, and these guys will get opportunities they deserve.
Well, I'm glad we're having these conversations, and
Yep.
we are going to call it a day here, but I do want to let you guys know that this is a special week for Gridiron because we're going to have episodes every single day until the Super Bowl, and we've got some fun, exciting guests coming on every single day, so tune in, you guys. It's going to be such a fun Super Bowl week. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Yes, sir.